Wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Two Dum Yinzers talk show. This is all about the Steelers all day, all year. Welcome back to the show. My name is Ryan. I'm going to welcome to today my co-host, my partner, Michael Mahler. How are you today, sir?
I remembered to unmute my mic. We're talking Stellars, big news going on. Where else would I rather be? Literally, where else would I rather be at 12:43 in the afternoon? Watching, listening, talking Steelers with the Two Dum Yinzers. Where else would you rather be?
Well, if I couldn't agree with you more, if it's time to talk Steelers, there is no place that I would rather be than right here with the Two Dum Yinzers. We got all kind of Steelers scoop today and scoop from all around Pittsburgh sports. Welcome to the show. This is episode 977 of the Two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see you here today. Glad to see you back at it. Tortilla on the board bright and early. What's up, brother? Always great to see Tortilla. Everybody, welcome back to the show. Mike, you ain't kidding. We do got big news today. A lot of things going on with the Steelers on the south side as mandatory minicamp does get ready to wrap up today. Mike, kids started their summer vacation today. They went in for an hour, from what I understand. What is fucking insane to me. But anyway, they go in for an hour. They're back. Mike, summer is officially started at the Mahler household.
Yeah, and one of them is already in here demanding my attention, but he can wait for about 5 minutes.
You know what? I'm sure it'll fly right by.
Oh yeah, the joys of running the Two Dum Yinzers whilst the kids are home from school is always it's fun. It's a challenge. It's a chore. It does make the show exciting because everyone's like, where did Mike go? Where did that big sexy bastard go? Oh, he's going to be dad duties.
Yeah, Mike, it's I'm sure it'll fly right by. Again, this is day one of summer vacation for you. I'm just gonna leave that right there. A couple things going on before we do get rolling today, Mike. Jack Osborne confirmed that they are going to be doing a hologram of Ozzy Osbourne. And I tell you what, they sure didn't wait long. They didn't have the guy in the fucking ground already. And
No.
they're already talking about, making a hologram of the guy, having him communicate with the audience, perform, do all that kind of fun stuff. And I just want to say this, Mike. I want to say this because who knows? Who knows? Whenever we die, if I die first, get a hologram. I insist that you do the show moving forward with a hologram. If anything does happen to me, and again, maybe we'll be further, hopefully we'll be far enough down the road to where that's more of a normal thing and you'll be able to pull that off. But at the end of the day, Mike, I think this is what I want with my, I'm going to put this in my will.
You know what? I'm down with that because I fully intend to exploit your death for the benefit of me and the show. And I would hope you would do the same with my blow.
I'm planning on killing you so I could already do that. But you know what? This is just in case I happen to die in the meantime.
Spittling everywhere. That's how much I respect that take of you killing me.
Yeah.
You got to do what's best for the show.
Finally, a report comes out, Mike, that men who perform cunnilingus on a woman is said to have their beard lightened if they do it often, Mike. And I just have to say, I'm looking pretty sharp lately. No, but something that was interesting, I guess, this is a thing. Apparently, guys that have beards, their beards lighten after a period of time performing cunnilingus.
Ours are getting, yours is really, really light. The little brown area in the middle on yours, but mine's getting light there too. We're just saying, ladies, just saying.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 977 of the Two Dum Yinzers. I got some breaking things here for us too, Mike. I do believe on July 5th is going to be the day that we do celebrate our 5-year and our 1000th episode of the Two Dum Yinzers because that is a Friday. So we're going to wrap it up all together, Mike, as a celebration for the 5 years, for the 1000 episodes, the July 4th weekend. And then I think after that, we will take our summer break right after that. So the 5th being Friday, 7 being Sunday. So I think July 8th, we will be taking our last break of the year here on the show. I just want to throw that with a month in advance because today is the 4th of June. If that works out with you, Mike, I think that's going to be the game plan. We'll work strong for the next month, get to our milestone. Then we will take our summer week off. And then we'll come back with 2 weeks to spare getting ready for camp. And it all kind of works out as it does every year. So I think this is going to be the route we go if it's okay with you.
Oh, that's fine with me, man. It works for me.
So we're looking at July 5th, guys. July 5th is going to be the big celebration here on the show. Again, 5 years, again, 1000 episodes right on July 4th weekend. So we'll be able to make it'll be festive. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll get some stuff going on here, and I think everybody will enjoy it. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. A lot of things going on the south side, Mike, as Pittsburgh Steelers, they do continue mandatory minicamp, as today is the final day of minicamp this week. Steelers are going to be off for a few, and then they'll be back at it next week, Mike, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for OTAs, and that will wrap up that program then. So we're moving right along, Mike. However, before we get into it, I have something embarrassing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to you, we'll be into our Steelers scoop here in 1 second. The Pittsburgh Pirates were up 9-3 yesterday in the 8th inning. The Pittsburgh Pirates lose 11-9. The bullpen is the reason that this team is never going to be any good.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not going to be good this year. They have elite pitching starters. They have really good upgraded hitting. And Mike, the bullpen again cost the Pirates the game. Mike, the Pirates, with that being said, again scoring 9 runs last night. That is the 4th game in a row they scored 9 runs. Now, yesterday we talked about their offense being as potent as it's been since 1940. Mike, this hasn't happened. At least 9 runs scored in 4 straight games in 98 years for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And we happen to lose.
That
is a very Pittsburgh Pirate-esque maneuver right there.
Absolutely. Mike, Pittsburgh loses 11-9. They fall to 33-29. The series split now at one apiece. They'll go at it today at 8-10 in game 3 of the rubber match, Mike, for the Pittsburgh Pirates Houston Astros series. Then they'll be heading off to Atlanta and then home to play the Dodgers. So I'm thinking that you want to get this win before you play those 6 games. Mike, those are two of the 2 best teams in the National League. As a matter of fact, the two teams that have more runs scored than the Pittsburgh Pirates. So it's going to be a tough ride. Hope they get the win today. Mike, Jared Jones back on the hill for his second start since returning from the disabled list. So that's a little bit of hope in our pocket. Let's get this win tonight. Buccos, Mike, Astros, Pirates tonight, 8-10, game 3.
Let's go Buccos. Let's right the ship and get back into it, man. Keep the offense going.
And finally, Mike, the Pittsburgh Riveters, they get another win starting off their season with a couple wins in a row as they go to Cleveland and they beat Cleveland. They beat the Cleveland Force 3-0. Riveters will be back at it against Flower City on Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Let's go. Whoop that ass.
Also, Mike, I take the lead again. And listen, this is almost going to be as interesting as the year that you lost to the inanimate object on the show. We won't get into that right now. However, you've been known to take some pretty embarrassing L's on the show, Mike. I do want to say that the New York Knicks go up 1-0 in the series over the San Antonio Spurs as they win 105-95, taking the 1-0 lead. So, Mike, that is the Knicks and the Vegas Golden Knights. Both have 1-0 leads in their series. So I'm up in both of those. And you know what? It's all by luck because these aren't the teams I would have taken. So there you go. I just took it for the sake of the show. Mike, the Knicks and Spurs will be back at it for game 2 tomorrow at 8:30. But tonight, the Vegas Golden Knights in Carolina, they go back at it for game 2 at an 8 o'clock start. Mike, this is they're down 1-0 Carolina, trying to get on the win column.
Yeah, they need to get back on track. They've been playing some really good hockey, and I need them to win. Boys, lock it up and get your act together, because I cannot lose the hockey pool and the basketball pool. Wemby, looking at you, brother. Looking at you. Lock it in.
So that's all the small stuff. It's time to get to the real stuff, Mike. Of course, welcome back. This is the Two Dum Yinzers. This is episode 977, and this is Steeler Talk 365 days a year, guys. It's time to get back to it. The news just doesn't stop coming day by day. Of course, Mike, we start the week with the big contract extension for our linebacker, of course, Nick Herbig. We'll get more into that, so much more today, because there's a lot of things that rely on that move, Mike, that are going to take place, I think, ultimately because of this move. Getting on all that today. But also, Mike, yesterday, when are these guys going to get hired? We said when are they going to get extended? When is Darnell going to get extended? When is Keanu Benton going to get extended? When is JPJ going to get extended? Mike, we leave the air yesterday. The only person that has their extension was Nick Herbig. About an hour after this, I see a report, Mike, that they are working on Keanu Benton. They're working with Keanu Benton and his contract extension. And that was the first wave of scoop that I did get yesterday. So I'm like, all right, cool. He's probably the lowest end guy on the list, at least taking care of small business before you start putting it down with the big biz. So that was the big news, Mike, with about an hour after the show yesterday. And then, of course, as the day goes on, this on the mind. Okay, we're going to take care of Benton. About 10 o'clock last night, the web of text messages, instant messages, DMs, everything else start pouring in. I thought maybe somebody got killed or something bad happened, but I opened my phone, Mike, and the big news was, of course, Darnell Washington getting his extension on a 4-year, $42 million contract, Mike. So there you go. Those were the big stories since we've seen everybody last. So it's great to be back. It's great to get into all this. A lot of stuff to be said about all this. Again, Mike, the big extension for Darnell Washington. The work is being done for Benton. And this is kind of, and again, I don't want to go back because I was wrong. I said they're probably going to get Herbig signed after the season. So I don't want to be the guy that said they told you so. Not in this situation, at least, Mike. But as we thought, JPJ was probably going to be the last piece of this puzzle. So at least I'll claim that I kind of sort of called that, Mike. But again, it makes a lot of sense to me. And from what I'm reading, it's probably going to be more of a complicated extension and contract to figure out, with just the value of positions and a lot of things that are going on is going to play into this contract. So at the end of the day, I am not worried. Again, as I repeatedly say, I'm not worried about getting JPJ signed. It's just a matter of when with me. And as we've seen over the past couple of days, Mike, you could wake up now at this point of the offseason and any one of these things can be taken care of. And as we woke up the past few days, it was 3 out of the 4, certainly, that we've been at least getting a result or getting some answers about. Mike, JPJ, of course, being the odd man out, but I don't think that means anything of any significance or anything that anybody should worry about.
Yeah, I'm hoping you're right, because I'm getting kind of nervous with this one too. I'm starting to feel like Tyrone. I'm starting to tweak a little bit. he's the starter. He is the star of the one of the stars of the defense. One of the most solid players out there. The guy he's out there just about for every snap of defense. And I know it's going to come out as derogatory, but it's not, because they're both damn good players. We're paying like the backups first. It has like, why are we rewarding these guys who aren't every down players, and we have an every down player who's, you look at him, he's up there with the best corners in the world, and we're not paying him. And that's like making me kind of worried, like how bad are the negotiations going, or how far apart they are. And yes, I said, we're paying the backups. I love that we signed Nick Herbig. I like that contract. I love that we signed Darnell Washington. I love that contract. They're good moves. They're smart moves. These are guys that are going to be here for the future. They are going to be the core, the nucleus of hopefully the next playoff run, and hopefully the next Super Bowl team. And Joey Porter Jr. is one of those guys too. So it's making me a little nervous that we haven't signed him yet. I just wonder if they see him as top 10 money and he sees himself as top 5 money, and how long are they going to have to nail this down? How long is it going to drag out? But I love these signings. If they extend Benton, I'm okay with that too, because I think he can be a really good rotational piece. But I want to get that lockdown corner. I think that's more important to have than an edge rusher, because can anyone name off the top of their head the last elite edge rusher that won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, no.
Because I really can't off the top of my head.
Mike, listen. And again, I understand the concern. I just under no circumstances can I see this go by, he not getting an extension and he end up moving on, or whatever the case would be. I just don't. At the end of the day, I mean, you mentioned about Nick Herbig, somebody who was in a starter, but obviously the writing's on the wall. The guy is a big part of the defense moving forward. I'm just not concerned, and I would be. Again, Mike, it seems to me you're getting the contracts out of the way kind of in order, in a sense. Not in any particular order, in the sense of 1, 2, 3, possibly. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, it doesn't surprise me that Joey Porter Jr. would be the last one. Mm-hmm. They're taking probably a good look at their money situation, working contracts around, making things happen. Again, I'm not really concerned, Mike. It's just a matter of when for me. Yeah. I just can't under any circumstances see them not. I mean, they're re-signing Keanu Benton, for crying out loud. If you're going to re-sign Keanu Benton, you better sure as hell re-sign JPJ. And of course, I think that's going to get done. I'm not nervous at all. I'm not really nervous at all at the end of the day.
I hope you're right, because I'm sitting here thinking too, like we were talking about the order of the contracts, getting them done. I said like the easiest. Maybe it's like, I don't want to say this where the value of the positions more, but maybe they're thinking, hey, we learned our lessons from Cam and TJ contracts. So if we sign the bigger stars to the bigger contracts, we can't round out the rest of the teams with good value, good production value, and good contract value. And they're like, hey, let's get these contracts in. And hey, Joey, if we have money, we'll give it to you. If not, okay, we're going to save this money and roll it into the offensive linemen who are coming up next year. And then, hey, hopefully Everett works out. Hopefully, Asante Samuels comes back. Maybe they're thinking it that way. And look at the guys they've extended on defense, edge rushers. Are they going to think, okay, maybe if we just pressure the quarterback, we don't need that much help on the back end, because the quarterback's going to not have that much time to throw the ball, and whoever's back there should be good enough. I just wonder if that might be one of their thought processes. I'm not saying it is, but it could be a thought that they're going down. And it's the way these contracts are going. That's how my brain's thinking it. It's like, okay, we can slack off on the secondary, but we want to get the front end done first.
I kind of ring this up under the same way that you would ring up somebody that maybe is in an insecure relationship. Excuse me. Maybe seeing things, maybe looking for answers to questions that really don't exist. Again, there was a lot of things in what you just said. There was, a lot of speculation. I'm not knocking anything you just said. I'm just trying to piece it all together like everybody else is. And at the end of the day, I see ties worried. As a matter of fact, let's get on the board, Mike. A lot to get into, especially regarding this matter.
I got to step away for a moment.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it seems like to me that again, people were there's a lot of speculating. There's a lot of what ifs. At the end of the day, they're getting it done. They're getting things done. They got Herbig signed at the beginning of the week. They got Washington signed in the middle of the week. Of course, betting they're working on that, and there's no indication that that there's no interest in bringing Porter back. There's no, there's nothing. There's really nothing. And at this point, there's a lot of what ifs and a lot of speculation. So for me personally, I don't really take that as anything. I kind of give you again, as much guarantee as I could. And again, that really doesn't mean anything, but I'm really, really leaning towards Joey Porter Jr. getting his extension here eventually. And it's just getting people worried because it wasn't one of these first few people. We're going through them first and going to get to him eventually. And again, I 100% am confident that it will get done. I'm going to get on the board to get things started today. I want to say welcome to everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you be tuning in from. Great to see you today. Great to see everybody on the terrible board. I'm going to start with my man Tortilla Jackson, all the way from Sacramento, California. Tortilla says this morning, I'm seeing Benton could make like $15 million a year. Man, I was thinking like $8 million a year. Yeah, it's crazy to me, man. It is crazy, but you know what? That's the more the league makes, the guys are going to make more. But I agree. That's a bit steep for him. Let's go here. He follows it up by saying, I like 3 years, 24 million. That sounds reasonable. I don't know about 15. I agree. Christine says, hey, Ryan, Mike, Tortilla. Great seeing Christine on the terrible board. Always great seeing Christine. Hope things are going well for you, ma'am. As always, let's continue right here. Tortilla says, what's up, Christine? Let's continue down here. JPJ's the GOAT. I agree with you. I agree. And if I think I'm honest with you guys. I do. And if I thought otherwise, but again, who am I? Who am I? But in all honesty, in my honest opinion, I don't think there's any way that this doesn't get done. I'll be I'll be more surprised than damn near everything else I've seen in sports that was shocked by. As much as it's worth, I say hang in there, guys, because again, I think it's going to get done, and it's looking like sooner than later. Again, they are working on contracts this week, so hopefully we do see that sooner than later. Let's continue on. Hey, Christine, Tyrone says on the board. Also, let's go right here to Mark Malone, the man, the myth, the mustache, all the way from the Midwest. He says this, I'm going to have a hologram of me helicoptering my schlong. You got to make sure you get that video over to us because we'll put it in the beginning of the show. We're going to make a entrance video, and it will start with Mark Malone helicoptering his schlong. Let's continue on right here. Let's go to Tortilla. He says this, we'll use old clips of whoever goes first and just respond to them different. And that's the thing. They can take video of anybody basically now and do a whole show with AI. So again, who knows when I kill Mike, what I'll be able to do. Let's continue on the board or wait on a live Mike. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get YouTube mad at me already. I haven't killed him yet. I haven't unalived them yet. Let's go here to scoot down just a little bit. Just Learning. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Just Learning on the terrible board. He says Teen Wolf Beard. LOL. And I figured out who they were talking about the other day, Justin. Just Learning. Jack Black is who they claim Mike was, or who he looked like. I figured it out. I went on the internet that night. I looked up every famous Jack. And I figured it out that they were mistaken. They meant to say Mike was Jack Pumpkin. Jack Pumpkin, because he has the jack-o'-lantern head. And not even Jack Skeleton. It's Jack Pumpkin. You can look it up and tell me how much Mike looks just like Jack Pumpkin. He has the same voice. Again, a pumpkin doesn't talk and not able to hear Mike either. So.
I had it muted like 12 times. So I was dealing with the kid in the background. But yeah, I pop in at the right time. All I hear is like, hey, he knew Jack Pumpkin.
Well, you didn't jump into luckily you didn't get into 30 seconds early because that's where I was talking about killing you. We're unaliving you because, again, I still need access to YouTube once you're gone. So I don't want to piss the people at YouTube off. When I unalive you, that was the conversation that you did miss. But again,
well, we kind of talked about that earlier.
That's neither here nor there. Let's continue on the board. Let's go here to Christine. Christine says this. She says somebody be walking into my funeral with a boombox on their shoulder, playing Renegade, jamming around my terrible towel covered casket. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I mean, not your funeral, but you know what I'm saying. The decor
right?
rather would be awfully awesome.
He's trying to off off everyone.
I'm a serial killer today.
You are.
I'm a serial unaliver. Mike, I got to keep this. I got to get it right. The system is making me keep it right. Let's continue on. Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says fourth quarter of a funeral and you come back to life. Call that a Kenny Pickett funeral, right? The late comeback by Christine.
The late comeback.
2 minutes left in the funeral and Christine comes jumping out. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's go to Ty. He says this. I do want to say what's up to my man Ty and my man Tortilla. A lot of times, Mike, the two of them, they awfully, or they comment intertwining with one another. So after you get through a couple hundred messages a day, I don't know if I'm saying Tortilla and I don't know if I'm saying Tyrone at that point. I do apologize. But as I'm reading down, Mike, and it's, message after message after message, the two with the T's always, for whatever reason, Mike, they seem to message at the same exact moment every time. Every time.
I've seen them side by side before. It is hard to differentiate the two.
Yeah, I agree.
They look the same.
Yeah.
Talk the same.
I agree. Yeah. Let's move on. Tyrone says, Christine, I'm going to show up with a don't bring up 96 with a sign. There you go. Tyrone's already ready for the big funeral. Let's go here to Tyrone follows it up by saying this: if Benton gets paid for JPJ, Omar is a joke. I don't care. What's up to Corey? Always great seeing you, brother, on the terrible board. Corey says this. He says, Heyo, what's up, Yinzers? Heyo, what's up, Corey, man? Always great to see Corey from Don't Drink That right here on YouTube. If you love conspiracy theories, go check Corey out. He's into all the latest conspiracies and much, much more. Go check him out right here on YouTube at Don't Drink That.
On the tube.
Tortilla says this: Mark Malone paid Omar off.
So this is where we're getting all that cash to pay these guys. It's Mark Malone.
Mark Malone. That's his Krylon money. Let's go to Christine. Christine says this: so when am I planning on coming to Pittsburgh again? I need to get a plan together. You do. You definitely got to get to town. No two ways about that. Let's go down to Tyrone. He says this: he had to, for this is just crazy. Tyrone had to pay off Omar Khan. Tyrone follows it up by saying, I'll be driving to Pittsburgh. If Omar keeps playing with JPJ, I'm going to kick his ass. See, I wouldn't expect anything less because that's how I would feel too. But listen, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says this: JPJ holding out like he holds wide receivers. Oh, it's going to be this kind of day. I could already feel it just by that message. I could already feel where this is going. I haven't looked ahead on the board, but interesting. Christine says it will be fine, Ty. Trust me, JPJ ain't going. And that's where I'm at too, Christine. I'm confident. And again, who am I? But who is anybody at this point? Nobody fucking knows. I just know that Mike JPJ isn't going anywhere. There's just things you know.
Yeah.
It's just, again, Mike, he grew up on the North Hills, and he went to school. His dad's a fucking, Super Bowl winner here. And I know the Steelers love this shit. They love this shit. If there's anything you know about our Steelers, they love the family connection. They just, we had the weird little Watt on the team.
Well, we love the connection when it's like the runt of the litter.
Yeah, like Connor Hayward, the meat Watt, and then the weird little Watt.
Yeah, whereas JPJ, he's not his dad, but he ain't no runt of the litter. So be the odd man out of that, of the equation now.
Well, I don't know. Well, TJ would be the front runner as well of the two, and they still brought in the little dumb Watt. So
yeah, I'm starting to be like Tyrone. We need to start a support group.
I think it's due. It's getting awfully emotional in here.
It is too, man. And I really at first wasn't that invested. Now I'm in. Let's
move on. Let's go right here to Tyrone. I don't care. I don't trust these motherfuckers. Never have, never will. I won't believe it until I see it. What's going on? The original Yinzer Joe, my man, the original OG in the house. Always great seeing you, dude. He says, "What's up, Steeler fam?" My man, Yinzer Joe from the OG chapter. Always great seeing you on a terrible board, sir. Welcome back. Let's go here to Aaron J. There he is with the Rockets. Always great. Always happy. Always excited to see Aaron. Hope things are going well for you, bud. He says, "Here we go, Steelers." Follows it up with saying, "Hello, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing day." And again, I can't complain. I can't complain.
I can't either.
I was watching some of these cop auditor videos. You know how I get in my spurts, Mike, on the internet. So now I'm back to being addicted to the cop auditor videos because of the way that these people know the laws, and they just let these cops have it. And you don't realize how off the cops are until you watch these kind of videos. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, I got pulled over, and this cop, figuring I was being a good person, a good citizen, somebody that maybe you could look at and say, okay, this guy's up to nothing. I turned and I placed my hands on the door, like the windows was rolled down, and I put my hands on the door. Bro, if you would have seen this cop freaking the fuck out, he's walking up from behind me for one, and he's going, You're really making me worry. You're really making me worry. Put your hands on the wheel. I thought, bro, you're behind me with a gun yelling, and you're the fucking one worried. I'm literally showing you my hands. And again, it's just an example of the stupid shit. But listen, I'm not going to get into the cops because, listen, I believe we need law enforcement. I believe you can't have 300 million people running around just doing whatever. I don't think that that's safe for people either. But Mike, sometimes watching these cop audit videos, it gets you through. It gets you through knowing that sometimes people stand up to these guys when they are being idiots, and it's, I gotta be honest, it's fun to watch.
They are fun to watch. I love them, and they crack me up. Like, especially like the more arrogant the cops get, and then they're proven wrong. I love when the supervisor shows up and more or less looks at the guy like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. When the supervisor comes and shits on him, that's the best part. Let's do, but again, I mean, these guys are talking and they make sense. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck the back of the matter is, Mike, nobody knows what the laws are. Were you sit down and taught all the laws? Were you given a book of laws of the land? Yes, they put you through civics class in 9th grade, and a fucking teacher tells you about shit for 9 weeks. But do you really know the laws of the land? It's kind of an unfair playing field, if you ask me.
You kind of have to, like, even like the lawyers, they constantly have to check the legal books because they don't know everything off the top of their heads. They know, like the major ones, or in your specific field, a lot of it, but they're constantly changing. So they're constantly checking those law books for any type of new additions, and like, hey, do I remember this correctly or not? But yet, and then they go to school for 4 years to get a bachelor's degree. Then have to go to like law school for 3 to 4 years. Whereas the cop, hey man, here's 90 days. Let's go. You got it. You're good, brother.
It's
nuts.
Yeah, nuts.
And we just have to wing it and hope we know.
And that's the thing. Go out in the world, everybody. Get a job. You're going to need it because you don't know the fucking laws. Eventually, you're going to get pulled over, get in trouble, and you're going to need money because for whatever reason, nobody decided to tell us all the laws, but yet they're going to arrest you for not knowing them. I don't want to go on too long, just making a point. Let's move along, everybody. Let's go right here to Ty. Ty says this. He says, I'm starting to get really pissed off. To be honest, I love Herbig and Darnell, but this is a joke to me. Just keeping it real. I just think that we're seeing it in priorities. I think he's the most valuable piece of the puzzle. A lot of money is going to go to JPJ. And again, I just didn't know if getting him out of the way first would be beneficial when you could also, work with the guys that you're working with to build up to him. But again, that's just my opinion. I don't see him going anywhere. Again, that's just me. Let's continue on right here. Tortilla, my sources tell me JPJ is about to sign a 10-year, $1 billion contract. Tortilla and Mark Malone on their shit. Mark Malone right here says, this is interesting about JPJ, isn't it? Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, nah, it'll be like 4 years, 124 mil. Tyrone says, Mark, don't start today. I'm already mad as fuck.
see now when you say it like that, everyone's gonna be piling on you, brother.
Yeah, especially Mark. That's his key. Let's go on right here to Tortilla. He follows that up by saying this. Mark sold his soul to get JPJ off the team. Mark says, I will take eternity in hell as long as JPJ isn't on this team, as long as Ty will not be happy. Speaking of happy, you know who's going to be the happiest person from this week? It's not going to be Benton. It's not going to be Washington. It's not even going to be Herbig. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be nasty Nate Herbig, because this motherfucker knows he's got food money for
Mm-hmm.
the rest of his
Mm-hmm.
life.
Uh-huh.
You figure Big Brother just made $1 gazillion, and Nasty Nate's happy. Believe me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Believe
He
me.
could be like, hey, I was in the NFL before you. I paved the way before you. Help me out. I can see them going out to dinner, Nasty Nate ordering everything. Nick be like, oh man, I don't know if I can afford this. Like, the fuck you can't. Let me pull up. I'd be having my brother's contract on hand, pointing at it. Anytime we go somewhere. Hey man, I need gas money. I can't help you.
It'd be funny if Nate Herbig went unemployed. He just decided he's like, fuck it.
Oh, I would too.
I'm just gonna not do anything. Let's go on right here to the original OG. Yinzer Joe. Joe says, hey, just wondering, doesn't the West Coast offense incorporate wide zone running? And if so, isn't this what Caleb Johnson was good at in Iowa? Maybe he makes the team and breaks out. Mike, I do know that Caleb Johnson, he's feeling more confident with himself at mandatory this week. He says this, Mike, when it's my time, I will strive. Caleb Johnson is back. He's got that, whatever it was that you could see was bugging him at the end of the year last year, that, obviously quite a few things happened. The mistake early, being benched a lot of the time after that. So again, he's feeling confident with himself under the new coaching staff, Mike, and the new system and the new offense. But he is saying this, my quote, when my time comes, I will shine.
I hope he does, man. That's going to be a damn good thing for the team. Root for the kid. Like, I love his attitude.
I do too.
The way that last year ended, it could have, derailed some people who weren't mentally tough enough for it. It could have been like, all right, hey, I tried, I failed. This is what it is. I'm going to go to camp, go through the motions. But this guy's coming back and like, no, I'm going to make them, make some tough decisions. And if he can get into a rotation with those guys, it's going to be nothing but better for the team, man. I just like guys like this who have that right attitude of, you know what, I got dealt a bad hand, and part of it was on my fault too, but I'm going to come back in and show this team I am who you thought I am.
Mike, we have more encouraging news about this offense. Let's get through some of the messages first, and we're going to get to the encouraging news about the offense, and of course going to talk heavily about these contract extensions today on the two Dum Yinzers guys. Let's jump right down here to Corey at Don't Drink That. He says, on top of Darnell, we signed another tight end. We signed Robert Tonyan. He was a former teammate of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Mike, in my opinion, I don't know what they're going to do with this guy. Probably a camp body.
I think
guys,
so.
A lot of these guys that you're seeing coming and going now aren't going to really be doing a whole lot for the team. As a matter of fact, we'll probably not be here in 60 days. So I wouldn't be too concerned about this guy from Green Bay. But yes, I did see that, Corey, and I'm not too concerned about that because I think we already do have somebody else. I can't think of who it is, Mike, but there is already a third tight end.
Yeah, I know Noah Kowski, they want him to play tight end, fullback, H-back. God, there's someone else in that list who name's not popping out, but
is it Galbraith?
Yeah, Galbraith, and they bring this guy in as a veteran to fighting for a spot. I think Noah Kowski is going to make the team. I think he's going to be that fullback / tight end type of guy.
He's going to be the meatwad.
He's going to be meatwad.
Yeah.
And then I think you're going to have Galbraith and this Tonyan guy fighting to be like tight end 3, and that'll be about it. And I don't know if you saw it too. It just came across the wire. I think we also signed Jamin Davis, the linebacker.
Okay, Jamin Davis, we did. Mike, you and I, you and I actually spoke of that briefly earlier in the week, and we chuckled actually because I believe the verbatim, Mike, you said, "Oh yeah, Jamin Davis is going to help the linebacker core." So there you go. That is also going across the the ticker.
I liked him when he was coming out of the draft, but that was I don't know how many years ago.
Exactly. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says, agree, Mike. This got me very nervous. Steelers do dumb shit. I don't trust Omar or Rooney. Just how I see that this should have been done first. Give him whatever the fuck he wants. He's the best player, And you know what? It's under. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says this. He says probably Vaughn. Look, they already. I swear the two of them, like they must plan their messages on the board because again, the Tortilla Tyrone combo. It just keep an eye on it. Now that I mentioned it, you will see. You wonder why I'm cross-eyed after the show and I'm walking around like let's continue. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says it's probably Von Miller is the last big-time edge rusher who actually won and carried as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he is like the last big one.
Let's go here to Mark Malone. Mark Malone says, look for JPJ trade to happen mid-month. Tortilla says this. We gave three edge rushers $70 million a year before locking up our cornerback one. But hey, at least we have a wide receiver too. That is certainly moving in the right direction there, at least at that particular point of your message. Tater is in the house, the new San Francisco. And you know what? It's not as fun to hate on Tater now that he's a 49er fan, because
I know.
Listen, I have no feelings one way or another against the San Francisco 49ers. So I don't have the disgust I usually have when he comes into a room and makes himself known. I'm usually like, no, I'm like, hey, look, it's Tater. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's just
how will I get through this?
It's not as fun anymore.
I know. Let's go here. Nah, Tater's fun. I don't know. Let's go here to the original OG. And Joe says, my sources tell me that Omar offered 10 million bags of potato chips and JPJ turned it down. Look for him to be traded. Now, boy, they are just they are teaming up. They are teaming up. So that's three people right now I see. Ty may lose his mind today. And I listen, I apologize, my friend. I'm not trying to invoke these people. I'm not trying to do anything of that nature. I just see that they are going to take it hard on but they're taking advantage of the situation, of course, like of course JPJ being the last, and I think that's why, because he is going to be the big one. I believe that's why he is going to be the last one as well. Let's go down right here to Christine. She says JPJ at practice and doesn't seem worried at all about it. Senior won't let JPJ go anywhere else. And that's what I'm saying. He got daddy in his ear the same way that Shador has Dion in his ear. You got superstar daddy. Sometimes you got to listen to what these guys say. Again, I don't think that Peasy Senior is going to let this go away too easily. I just don't, Mike. I just don't think it's going to not happen. I don't think it's not going to not happen. I refuse.
Yeah, I know. I used to think like that, but then I started seeing, these contracts come through. Now I'm getting a little nervous, but every side should be getting this one hammered out. It probably is going to be a little harder because I think there probably a gap between what Porter wants and what the Steelers want to pay. And now it's just trying to find that middle ground to appease both sides and maybe working on incentives that seem attainable, but, a little difficult to get to, then take it up into that top 5 category of pay scale.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what it is, I you know what, that makes a lot of sense to me. It's the difference between what he wants and what they want, and if it is that top 5 and top 10 difference, I mean, I can see that. But again, at the end of the day, Mike, I don't see that this thing doesn't get worked out. Again, just my opinion, but that's just me. Let's go to Sosh. He says this. Hello, you sexy bastards. Hope all is well. Hey, you sexy Swiss bastard. What's up with you? Nice to see you, as always. Sosh on the terrible board, my man.
Yeah.
Tortilla must have been Lay's chips. Lay's chips. Tyrone said, he says, this is just pathetic to me. And again, Mike, the Tortilla Tyrone message. I'm not making this up. I'm not. My crossing eyes is not making this up, Mike. But again, it's funnier than anything. I'm not complaining. We love everybody here. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Again, Mike, it's Tortilla Tyrone Tortilla. Tortilla says this, we will be fine. JPJ will sign. And I couldn't agree more than I do with my friend from Sacramento, California. I think that it will get done. Christine, she says this, they have more than enough cap space left, and the cap is going to be so much higher this year. And I want to point out this point that I made to you yesterday off the air, Mike. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that the Steelers were capable of doing all this stuff. Is it just me, or do we go for the past 40 years watching the Steelers not thinking that maybe you could do one or two things in the offseason, and they never even seemed relevant for the most part.
Yeah.
My God, the players that we brought in from free agencies and the extensions and this and that over the past 3 years since Omar Khan's been running the ship. Mike, I'm aboard. Again, say what you want about Omar. This is exciting and fun as a fan of this football team. He's very active, very aggressive. And again, I was under the impression that we're only able to make a move a year. And we were never getting a DK Metcalf, and we was never getting a Jalen Ramsey. I mean, these guys would have never been Steelers in the past. So again, what it is that Omar Khan is doing, whether they've been able to get it done with him more, or if they've been able to do it in the past and they just didn't. Whatever he's doing, I'm on board, because Mike, they're making moves. In the past, it was like, okay, the Steelers they fell short Let's hope that our this guy could step up and be the next guy on the list. Let's hope that this person can step up and fill that. Mike, now it's go out and get what you need, and it's not go out and get what you need. Mike, go out and grab a Michael Pittman. Go out and grab a DK Metcalf. Go out and get people again that in my life would have never been targets of the Pittsburgh Steelers through free agency in the offseason. I particularly like Omar. Again, he hasn't done anything really to screw me yet as a fan, but I understand where Ty's coming from. But listen, let's let the process go through. If it goes through and nothing gets done, resolved, then we could really bitch and get into this. But I think we're a little early on this, guys. I do, especially that they are being so aggressive right now, signing extensions.
Yeah,
Mike, I think that it's just a matter of time. Again, to me, it's not if, it's just when.
Yeah, and I like this approach, man. For the longest time, it was draft, develop, sign a couple, and then let the others go, and then draft, develop, and keep doing that system, and then maybe pick up a free agent or two in the second wave. Maybe second wave was kind of early for Kevin Colbert. You get those third, fourth tier free agents, hoping you would hit on one of them. Very rarely would you go out and get a D'Angelo Williams or a James Ferrier. Now we're going out being aggressive in that first wave of free agency, going out and making big trades to get DK Metcalf, to get Pittman, and not giving up a whole hell of a lot to get those guys. Signing, veterans that might have a couple years left in them, give them like quote unquote big contracts, but structure them a way to where you can get out of them real quick. And, that was Omar's thing. He was the cap guy. He knew those numbers. Now, in his role, he's developed as a talent evaluator, and then the master of some of these trades and the negotiations and pairing with Weedle. This is fun because it used to be the old way. It was like I said, draft, develop, and then a sprinkle here and there, and that was the model for the longest time. And then it, as always, the rest of the NFL passed the Steelers by, and now we're playing catch up, and we're playing catch up fast, and we're doing it really well too. It's just it sucks like when our favorite players aren't getting signed, but I love how fast they're reacting.
But they are. Our favorite players are getting signed. Listen, if this is 8 months from now and we're having this conversation, then it's a different story. Then it's a different story. But they're getting signed. We signed Herbig and Washington and Benton, and we're working on Benton. And again, like just because JPJ's last, just patience, guys. That's all I say. Just be patient. Again, like Christine mentioned, he's there. He's at practice. Yeah. There's not a lot of problems. It isn't there. There's not hostility. It's a hold in. It's not a hold out. So again, I'm pretty confident, Mike. The only thing I guess we could really be mad at this point that he wasn't first. And you know what? If that's the biggest problem, then I'm fine with it. I do understand that it will rub people wrong. I don't know what to say beyond that, but I do want to say hello to Jello Donut. Jello Donut says, hurry and trade Highsmith. I do want to say this to Mr. Jello Donut. I do want to say what's up to you, bro. I always happy to see you on the terrible board. This, Mike, Jerry Dulac has been told. Jerry Dulac has been told the Steelers aren't planning on any more outside linebacker moves. Jerry Dulac, Mike, from the Post-Gazette, says he's been told Steelers aren't planning on any more outside linebacker moves this season. A lot of speculations that Highsmith is going to be moved after this season. But as of right now, this is the up-to-date scoop here in the Berg. Dulac reporting this morning that he heard, I'm assuming from the team. I hope from the team. I'm hoping it's not from the guy down at the gas station. But from the way I see it, this seems to be what's going to happen right now as far as this linebacker core. So, again, do we not get rid of TJ? Do we not make that move at the right time, or is it not being done with Highsmith at the right time? We don't know, but I do know this from what we know to the minute, Mike. They don't plan on making any more moves with that position.
Yeah, like you said, I hope it wasn't the homeless guy that told the Browns owner to draft Johnny Manziel. I hope that wasn't the source. I hope it's a reputable source because I want to see all three of these guys out there, especially if they are going to line them all up in different spots. Because we've seen Herbig can play inside and outside. He can blitz he's very effective blitzing from the middle and shooting that gap between the guard and center. So I want to see all three of them out there this year, man. Go with a bang this year because we need all three of them. But I hope, that Highsmith really was sick yesterday and that's why he left. And I hope there's nothing going on. I hope he's not throwing a boo-boo party because his teammate, his supposed buddy, got a bigger paycheck. Like, well, now it's the NFL. This happens. As soon as your contract starts to wind down, other guys are going to get paid and get paid more than you. But just go out there and try and win a goddamn championship.
Mike, Steelers they're planning to be creative with Nick Herbig. Mike, this is what is being said. They said this is what we've been working on, finding ways to be more creative with Nick Herbig being the third man. Mike, and I'm sure, and I don't know this to be fact or not. I don't know if you know this to be fact or not, but is there a certain amount of playing time, a certain amount of plays that he's going to have to be eligible for all that money? Because at the end of the day, as you mentioned, he's not a starter. So, yeah. I mean, is he going to have to play 50% of the snaps? Is he going to have to, and if he is, which again, I don't know if he is, but this has certainly been something that is a thing, Mike. So it's just really encouraging to me. From that being said, that they were planning on being creative, finding ways to use him, possibly for that reason. They want to get him involved, possibly for the reason he's a threat. This is why you paid him big money, because the guy makes big plays. He makes high impact plays on this football team. Mike, is there any? Again, I don't know the details on this contract, but is that anything that we know of, Mike? Is X amount of plays have to be played? Like when Cam has to play X amount of plays to get his bonuses. Is there anything that falls in this category?
I haven't seen his contract broken down, but I have a feeling like it might be tied to like X amount of play, X amount of snaps plus X amount of sacks will get you this type of bonus is probably in there. And he played 52.5%, I think 52.5% of the snaps last year on defense. TJ Watt played 69.8% of the snaps, and people might say that's low, but the year he broke the sack record, he only played 65% of the snaps. So, like, there's ways to get him out there and TJ out there. But your first part of your question, I haven't seen breakdowns yet of his contract, but it might be, play 60% of the snaps, get, 8.5 sacks, you get this type of bonus. There's something along those lines. But, we saw how effective he was playing 52% of the snaps, 7.5 snaps. Let's get him out there, and the production will increase, but also the attentions from the other offenses will increase as well. But if you have all three of those guys out there, plus Derek Harmon, Cam Hayward, Patrick Queen flying around, like there's going to be ample opportunities for him to go out there and make plays and be effective. So I want to see all three out there and what they can do. Especially, he's so fast and so quick. You can literally more or less play him at middle linebacker. He's not your typical middle linebacker size, but he has the speed and the range to play there too. So there should be a lot of ways you see those three out there. And if he plays anything under like 60% of the snaps on defense, I'm going to be wondering what the fuck we're doing with him.
All right, let's get back on the board. Mark Malone says you look more like Bam Bam Bigelow. You look more
yes,
like
I do.
See, now that I
big and athletic, baby.
With all the tattoos on your head and the athleticism, I don't know. I just don't see it. But you know what? Different strokes for different folks. Let's move on right here to Tater. Tater saying, hey to Christine. Funny Tater in the house again, but no Lindsay. Watch yourself, Christine. That's all I'm going to say. Just watch yourself. I don't know what's going on. Nobody's seen Lindsay. Nobody's seen Tater's couch. We don't want you to be next. So, again, watch your back, Lindsay. Let's go to Tyrone. He says, that's my brother. Also, Tortilla. There it is, Mike. Again, the Tyrone Tortilla.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Again, you probably think I'm crazy. There's no way that Ryan's
it's all the same person. It's all the same person commenting.
JPJ is the goat, Tortilla saying, and then Tortilla follows it up by saying Tyrone is the mountain goat. Tyrone is the and you know what? Those mountain goats are fucking cool, aren't they? You ever see a mountain goat on the side of a mountain? Like, how the fuck they even get up there for one? Dude, they're just up there chilling.
You ever see them like on dams?
How you get down? How you get down from there?
Dude, right? Like they'll climb up on dams too. And like I got bored one night. I might have been a little high, and like they can find like the slightest imperfection, and they're able to just balance.
I love them little goats. I love them.
They're so cute. They're cute and they're cuddly, and I want one.
Well, I don't think they're cute or cuddly.
I think they're cute and cuddly.
But, they are all right. They're all right in my book. Let's go right here to Tyrone the Mountain Goat. We did get that. Mark Malone says this. I made some wise investments with my 80s football money. Hey, man, No one was bigger than the mustache. Let's continue right down here to Joe. My man Yinzer Joe says this, JPJ the Billy Goat. Mark Malone, JPJ might end up in Miami. Corey says this, don't drink that, the nanowatt. LOL. Let's go to what the hell was I? There was something I wanted to ask you too, Corey. I thought, you know what, I'll ask him on the show, but here we are on the show, and I have no recollection of what it was. So I apologize. And you know what? I may randomly just throw it out at some random time when it pops into my peanut brain, Mike, because again, I can't think of what it was, but I just, specific things. Corey is my conspiracy theory guy. He just is. He's my conspiracy theory guy. And again, I had something for you, Corey. I'll work on it. Christine says, Jello. Christine follows it up by saying Jello wasn't high. Yes, Hightower was a policeman on a police academy.
Great. The first the first police academy is an all-time classic.
What's the guy that did the voice, did the sounds with his mouth? Well, anyway, I was watching an old video.
Michael Winslow's the gentleman's name. I forget the.
I was watching an old Hollywood Squares the other day, and it was because there was somebody that I like on there, Mike, and Michael Winslow, if that's his name. He was doing his sounds. He was not good. He was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
How in the fuck was he making 90% of those sounds that came out of his mouth?
Yep.
Unbelievable talent. If you forget, do go check it out. You're going to be amazed. You're going to walk away with your mouth hanging wide open, like, because I can't even imagine how he even made half of these sounds. He was really unbelievable. Let's go on right here to Tyrone. Tyrone says this, Mike. He says Omar and Rooney has two things, Jack and shit, and Jack left town. Let's go here to Mark. Mark says this. Looks like they're going to get Benton done soon. They were certainly working on that yesterday. And then again, Darnell popped up getting his done. So yeah. I expect Benton to be done probably, as early as today.
We are going to hear a loud scream of anger coming from Western Ohio.
Yeah. Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says the cops watches the pod and knows you. You know what? That's why I don't ever drive to that town anymore. They're pains in the asses. There's one thing from protecting and serving, and then another thing compared to what they do at the end of the month. Listen, if their production wasn't as inconsistent and didn't spike at the end of the month when they had to reach their quota, this wouldn't even be a topic. That only shows you that they're picking and choosing. And again, is that protecting and serving? I don't know. Let's continue on, though. Let's go right here to Jello. Jello Donut says this. Christine, LOL, maybe. Or I was thinking about American Gladiators. I'm not sure. Which was also another great show from the 80s. Let's go here to Corey. He says this. There's a cop 20 minutes from here where I live that shot a guy for walking toward him naked and unarmed. Word is he was still packing. Let's go down here. Mark Malone, laws are always changing. LOL, kind of like DSM manual for psychology. And that's the thing. Yeah, you're right. Shit is always changing. And again, I haven't got anything in the mail to tell me about the latest law changes. I guess I'll just wait till the cops beat me up. I guess I'll wait till he's behind me yelling at me that he's afraid of me. And he's the guy with the gun behind me yelling. Fucking nuts. It's nuts. Let's go here. Both are BS, Mark Malone says. Also, Yinzer Joe says the Steelers just wanted to sign and get the easier. That's what I'm feeling, Joe. I mean, in all honesty, that's my opinion. The Steelers just wanted to sign and get the easier contracts done before JPJ. They knew he was going to be the most difficult. I agree. I still think that's what it is, and that's what I'm going to roll with. Mark Malone says the Big Johnson will rise to the occasion, Mike. The Big Johnson will rise to the occasion. He says, when my time comes. And Mark Malone finishes the sentence. He says he will rise to occasion. That Big Johnson.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. He was a little shriveled last year.
He was a little shriveled. I expected a little bit more longevity out of him too, Mike. Just not quite enough from the Big Johnson last year. Let's go to Mark Malone. Follows it up by saying he'll really give the previous coaching regime the shaft. Let's see. Sauce says this. He says, I like how rattled up people get in Twitter comments when these camp bodies transactions happen. Why did we sign another tight end, buddy? It's camp body with no
Yep.
guarantees. Relax. I agree. You're gonna see a handful of names because at the end of the day, Mike, there's 40 people on this roster that isn't going to be there, and when we kick the ball off in September.
Yeah. And that was it felt like Sauce was talking to you last year because every time we brought in a tight end to try out, you're like 45 fucking tight ends on this goddamn team.
But they kept them all. That was the problem.
Well, I know, but like it felt like he was targeting you. So good job, Sauce. Keep it up, buddy.
Mark, there is the Galbraith. Sauce also says Ty needs to relax. JPJ will get signed. There's reports that both sides are positive. I agree. There's no indication that things are not going to go the way we want it to, at least. Money wise, I'm sure one side is probably going to lose $1 here or there, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to be satisfied. Let me finish that message saying positive about it. He will get extended. He might just be late around training camp, maybe. And again, it's not out of the question either. But one thing, Mike, about the earlier getting together, we're talking about the OTAs. We're talking about, of course, these mandatories. Mike, Aaron Rodgers has much better chemistry with DK this year. So, I mean, it could have been much better last year, provided they used all their time wisely. They didn't. Anyway, they played games. At the end of the day, Mike, I am positive, again, very encouraged, again, by hearing that their chemistry is much better between Aaron Rodgers and DK. Mike, that's a great thing to hear about your 43-year-old quarterback and your wide receiver one at the end of the day, because you know that you have new pieces in place. And if the chemistry is even better than the guy that you threw it to most of the time last year, you got to like that. You have to, again, Mike, this just falls into the vibe of what's going on with the Steelers football team at this moment. So we just hope that this continues on through OTAs next week, through camp next month. Again, preseason will be in August, and it won't be long after that. So again, Mike, I still love reading these encouraging notes right here, Mike, as it is reported. Aaron Rodgers has much better chemistry with DK than last year.
So better chemistry. That's what I like to hear. So I'm hoping though it's going to translate to the playing field. These good vibes. It's starting to sound like a negative Nancy right now, so I'm going to stop myself.
We do have a lot to get into, Mike. Let's continue on the board. First, let's go right here. Don't drink that. Corey says, oh, shit, JPJ signs a 5-year, $145 million deal. Just kidding, but it's coming. There he goes. Corey is ready to send Ty into cardiac arrest for happiness, I guess. Let's go here to Tortilla. He says, I'm not drinking until JPJ resigns. He's not drinking until JPJ resigns. Let's go to Mark Malone. Mark says this. It's going to be a long, dry summer at Tortilla. Sauce says JPJ probably wants 32. They want to give him 22, and they will meet somewhere in the middle. And you know what? That's how it's going to work. And at the end of the day, we're gonna be happy. I think we as fans will be the happy ones, and JPJ will be happy, and the Steelers will be happy. And whenever, Mike, we're not letting up a bunch of touchdowns through the air, we're all going to be happy. So we'll all rejoice together. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says, I'm not even eating Taco Bell until JPJ signs. This, now I'm getting worried.
That's, brother, don't do that to yourself.
I know, please. Don't do that to yourself. Let's go down here to Corey. Corey, don't drink that. Corey says something. Corey says this. He says, right? The Steelers been making us think that they have Goodwill money, and now they're pulling out Gucci money. Who was cheap ass, and who do I need to call? I agree. We're not being cheap. Certainly not being cheap. You got to admit that. Let's go here to Sauce. Sauce says this. He says we have 71 million in cap space for 2027 with Jalen Ramsey cut, which is a no-brainer. 21 million saves with zero dead cap. If Cam retires, it goes up to 95 million. We can afford all the rookies. Mike, I was just this isn't even in my notes. This is just something I seen. I was on my way out of all the Steeler pages I was gathering the show today. They were saying that Brendan Sorsby, Mike, he could be more valuable than Arch Manning, is the word now with this Brendan Sorsby. Where is he going to end up at?
Prison.
All right,
I don't know, man. Like I'm hearing all this, like I know people were excited for him coming out of it if he would have came out this year, but that was I don't know where him being like talked about as being more valuable than all the other quarterbacks coming out next year. And if he would come out, he'd be a first or second round pick in the supplemental draft if he would enter it. Like this dude has a shit ton of legal issues going on. Like the NFL is not going to tolerate or let him come in unpunished. I don't know, and I don't think he's that great. I think he's a fine quarterback. I didn't see a whole lot of him, but what I did see, I wasn't like falling out of my seat to want to, oh man, we got to get this guy. Oh, we better hope he comes out. All of a sudden, he's a first round pick now because of the legal issues.
What's funny to me? It seems to me if he was possibly wearing a different college football helmet, some people might think this is a better idea.
Yeah,
I'm just saying because we have quarterbacks that aren't exactly blowing the roof off the room, and we're okay with it. We're satisfied. We're like, okay, this guy could be our next starter. This guy could be the franchise quarterback. When this guy down here actually has a lot of talent that people were saying that he could be a high pick. So again, I don't know where I stand with him yet, Mike. Again, I'm going to follow the legalities and things that's going on with his life. But again, if he was an Ohio State quarterback, I think people would like him. Or if he went to another school, whatever. But that's just me, Mike, that people know him right now because he's in a little bit of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, he seems very talented. And what I keep getting, he's going to be decent for whoever does get him. I don't know a lot about him, but again, he will be somebody that I continue to follow. But again, Brendan Sorsby, Mike, they're going to be sticking his name up there with Arch Manning. And again, we don't know what we're going to get from Arch either. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Because any Manning quarterback was never any good. They were all good, every single one of them.
Until you get to the one that isn't.
Until you get to the one that isn't. That is the best way to put that. Let's go here to Aaron. Says this. Aaron is saying that JPJ is the GOAT. Andrew Joe, TJ Watt is the GOAT. And I got a lot about Watt. Hold on, but I do have something important. I do see Lindsay walking through the door. I'm not sure this isn't a weekend at Bernie's stint, as we were just talking about. We haven't seen Lindsay for a while. And we were talking about her and Tater the other day, but I see Lindsay. She is safe. Thank God Lindsay is safe. Thank God she is here. Glad to see her alive and well.
Alive and well and not trapped in Tater's couch.
Yeah. We haven't seen
maybe she was helping Tater pick out a new couch for their new home.
Because we haven't seen Lindsay. We haven't seen Tater's couch. We didn't see Tater, but then he popped back up. He came back and we didn't see Lindsay. So now again, I'm hoping it's really her. Mike, there's Lindsay. Everybody on the board, welcome. Good day to you. To TJ Watt, guys, some information, some scoop, of course, about our man, Mr. Watt. And what better time to get into it than when Lindsay pops into the room? Mike, it couldn't work out any better. TJ Watt, Mike, he remains super committed. The Steelers remain super committed to TJ despite Herbig's contract. That is some things that are being written in Pittsburgh this morning. The Steelers remain super committed to TJ Watt as the Herbig contract does get taken care of. A few other things, Mike, from and about TJ over the past couple of days. Of course, the guys are at mandatory minicamp this week, finishing up today. Tomorrow back to OTAs for 4 as they wrap that up next week, guys. These are some things that TJ Watt was talking about. He says this, Mike, it is a much different environment from when Mike Tomlin to when Mike McCarthy is here. He says the change is good. He says it's a lot of coaching change going on. He's embracing that, Mike. And he also, TJ says this, he admits being stubborn for not moving around the defense. Whose problem is that? That's a coaching issue. If this guy is stubborn because he doesn't want to move, you can get his ass over there. That's your job. And again, I'm not bringing it back on Coach Tim. I'm bringing it on the defensive coordinator. That's his immediate coach. To let the guy be stubborn and not play other parts of the field and other parts of defense because he's stubborn and because he is who he is not right. The fact that he's even talking about this, Mike, he says, I'm gonna play all over the place. All of a sudden, he's going to play all over the place. But that's being reported again, Mike, that he admits I didn't move around a lot because I was stubborn. So you, again, didn't do what was best for the team for whatever reason. Again, I'm not shitting on him. I'm actually talking good about him, to be honest. But this is what was said, Mike. I was stubborn. This is why I did not move around. So people that were speculating, was Terrell Austin not using him right? Did they not put him in the right spots? Did they not put him in the right gaps? Plain in parentheses, Mike, I was stubborn.
I was stubborn. The perfect epithet for TJ Watt's career. I was stubborn. I don't know. Hey, apparently Myles Garrett renegotiated a new contract. So
but don't get into that. I do. Yes, I'm going to get into that. Oh, okay. I thought you were going elsewhere with it. I'm sorry.
I was going to roll it into TJ Watt, but I'm sorry.
All right, we'll roll right into this. Go with your finish.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't know how there was, but yeah, Myles Garrett got a new contract. So I was just wondering how long until TJ Watt starts knocking on Omar's door, going, "Where's my penny? I need my penny more. Give me my penny more." Well, that's what TJ Watt's been caring about more than wanting to do what's best for the team, because the man just said it himself. I've been stubborn.
Lindsay, I couldn't agree more with your last comment. I'm 100% with you on that. Mike, this is where I was going. I apologize for cutting you off.
I apologize for jumping ahead in the show.
Mike, the Browns put a quirky trade condition in this contract with the Rams in the working out with Myles Garrett, where he is not able. The Rams will be punished.
Yes.
If they would end out trading him back to any team in the AFC North. This is how paranoid, how stupid, how retarded, and how delusional the Cleveland Browns are. Nobody cares about you. Let me start with this by saying nobody gives two shits about the Browns. Why does nobody understand when people say that? Nobody cares about the Browns. For one. For two, who cares? Listen, if he comes back, everybody's still going to beat your ass. That's what happens in the division. The Steelers will beat you. The Ravens will beat you. The Bengals will probably beat you. You can't trade Myles Garrett back to the division. Who gives a shit? It isn't like that's going to be the be-all, end-all. You're the Browns. You can't figure out how to do it when you got the players. Mike, the Browns put in this quirky agreement in the contract that does not allow the Rams to trade him back to the AFC North. Now, that is pathetic. Mike, that word popped up earlier on the screen. I was waiting to use it. Pathetic is what it is. Mike, the Rams will be punished if they will trade him back to the AFC North. I like to hear what you got to say about it.
Yeah, because it was the condition. Everyone was like, what's the condition on that third round pick? And that's what it was. They trade him back to one of the 3 AFC North teams that flips to a first round pick. Have you met the Rams GM? They can't, like, their first round draft picks, they trade them away like they're nothing. Like they mean nothing to them. So he was probably like, oh, okay. So after he probably gets, 2 years of service out of Myles Garrett, goes, it's time for me to move on from this guy. Oh, Baltimore, you want to give up one of your first round picks for this guy? Okay.
Baltimore,
no,
Mike, but
we're losing our own first round pick and getting someone else's. Oh no, you really taught us a lesson. Like
Baltimore would make the move, Mike, and then they traded back. They would
sure Cincinnati then. Cincinnati would be dumb enough to do it.
And they need it, right? Well, okay.
Yeah, but it's just like have you met the Rams GM? He's literally the guy who said after they won the Super Bowl, fuck them picks. And he's been living that motto ever since. So, for Cleveland thinking they pulled a fast one on him, the guy doesn't give a fuck.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's just another stupid Cleveland. This is what they do. This is why we like them. Again, Mike, at the end of the day, I don't give two shits about them.
Yeah.
But this is what keeps me entertained. Let's move on, though. Let's get right here. TJ Watts, the GOAT, Yinzer Joe, Mark Malone, Miami. Ain't a bad place to be if you have money. I agree. I would love to be somewhere not cold and icy in the winter. Could be a lot of places, I guess. So Jello Donuts as well. What the fuck? Somber. Howdy. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Somber on the terrible board. My man, all the way from California. Southern California. Let's go right here to Jello Donut. Isn't Highsmith salty with what's going on? I mean, if he is, there's things that may lead you, Jello, to believe that he is. The fact that he got sick the exact morning after Harbig gets his big contract. Again, sure, people get sick. I get it. Whatever. But again, just very coincidental. 91 guys at camp. Alex Highsmith, the one that gets sick the morning after the big Herbig contract is signed. Again, do what you want with that. That's about all I have. But I do know that, Mike, Jerry Dulac is reporting they are not going to be making any more outside linebacker moves until after the season, I would assume. Let's go to Sauce. Sauce said, here's a fun stat. If we can stop the run and get to obvious passing downs, the Steelers have a 48.7% pressure rate with all three edge rushers on the field, 6% higher than the second best team stop the run. And that's a great point, Sauce. Stopping the run should be numero uno on every football team everywhere across the planet. I mean, that's that's rule number one. You got to stop the run. You got to stop the run. You're not going to win any Super Bowls if you can't stop the run. I can promise you that. And also, Mike, speaking of Super Bowls, I went back and I was watching a video last night about you know what it was? It was a short, and it was Aaron Rodgers hitting Jalen Warren in the Seahawks game and him slicing that championship defense up. Granted, it was the second game of the year. I understand that. But Mike, Jalen Warren just slicing and dicing Seattle's defense like it wasn't even there. So again, can't wait to see my man Jalen Warren back at it, along with our rest of our black and gold, Mike.
Dude, I think him and Rico are just going to wreak havoc on run defenses this year.
Slicing and dicing, Mike. Slicing and dicing.
Slicing and dicing. Like Jalen Warren, like what can you not love about the guy? You know, he dropped about like 10 pounds this year to be a little bit lighter. Hopefully he didn't lose any power because he was a little small guy, short guy, but built like a bowling ball. He looks a little slimmer this year, but if he still retains that power, I think you're looking for a career year out of him this year.
That'd be something. We'll certainly take it. Let's move on the board. Let's go right here to Mark Malone. Herbig will definitely play off the ball more this year for sure. Tortilla says Jerry Durag. Jello says that Sauce, love those stats. Somber, there was nothing about playtime in his contract. Let's go right here. Somber says, from what I read, also Somber follows it up by saying we have a ton of bighorn sheep in my area. They climb up steep mountains as well. Wow. Southern California seems really interesting, man. Let's continue down here to Yinzer Joe. Herbig's 40 time was only faster than TJ's. He's not faster than the rest of the linebackers. And I just want to throw this out there, guys, as we get close. I mean, as we're moving along today, just a little heads up that trivia question of the day has something to do with our outside linebackers. Keep that in mind. Guys, as we do move along, let's go right here to Yinzer Joe. He says, Runyon played with Rodgers in Green Bay. McCarthy was their coach. Let's go to Somber. Somber says this, damn, Mateo got cut. Was hoping he'd make it, but A-Rod snuck his guy in there. Vegas says rehab. I think that was back with the
Sorby.
With the Sorby conversation. Tortilla says this, bro is a serial gambler. That's a hard no for me. Sauce says this, if Sorby declared he would have given or would have been given a third, fourth round, I doubt any team gives up more. I don't think even know if any team wants him with all that baggage. That seems to be the topic, is all the baggage at this point. Lindsay, always great seeing her as always. We did welcome her. Corey says this. So when he sits down, is he a couch tater? Yes, he is a couch tater. Vegas says this. What's that, Mike? How do you pronounce what's going on there? Art Schlichter?
Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I ain't trying. Nope.
Lindsay says yes. Pittsburgh is committed to TJ. Somber says Watt opening up about being stubborn about moving around was huge in my opinion. I do too. That is big. That is big. Now he kind of has a little bit of baggage. He was always kind of the squeaky clean image guy. And now he's too stubborn to move around. To move around? He literally lined up in one spot for about 10 years now. And guess what? They figured it out about 8 years ago. Micah Parsons is everywhere, Mike. When you watch Green Bay, or when he played in Dallas, you didn't know where he was coming from, and that made him more of a threat. You You know damn well where TJ's coming from every play. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know where he's coming. Do you know
Yeah.
where he's coming?
Yep.
I think the terrible board knows where he's coming from.
Everyone knows where he's coming from.
Again, so that is, and Summers' message, Mike, that's his post, that's true. In his opinion, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, it does. Like, Carnell Lake went from safety to corner for the betterment of the team. Alan Faneca went from left guard to left tackle for the betterment of the team. And TJ Watt's too good to do it. Okay.
And people could have said that about Cordell, but at the end of the day, it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. But again, even after last year, Mike, in the offseason, we're going to move him around more. TJ says, I'm going to move around more. And you've seen how much it didn't happen. So
it lasted for like 3 games.
Yeah.
If that. Both years. Then Watt's like, I just want to go back to my side.
Imagine what here's the thing. He's look at all the sacks he might be leaving on the table, tackles, big plays. If he would just, again, not come from that same exact spot every single there's probably about 3 places he's been here that I could recall that he didn't line up in that spot.
Yeah.
Let's do scoot along though. Let's go to Corey. Corey says that. Corey Don't Drink That says this. What are they trying to convince? Who are they trying to convince? Who asked if TJ was in jeopardy to offer that tidbit of information? LOL. Sounds like overcompensation. It's interesting. I just spoke a little bit too much, maybe. A little bit more than he was asked is maybe what you're saying. Corey follows it up by saying this. You think when he wasn't getting sacks, he'd want to move to a spot to give him. That's exactly what I'm saying. I just don't understand the logic. Let's continue along. Let's go right here to Lindsay. Lindsay says this. Tomlin allowed that BS. I would have told him to move around. Absolutely. It's crazy that and again, go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say I'm gonna ask all the Watt lovers. If he would have said no and you were the coach, would you have benched him? And if Tomlin benched him,
yes,
what would have been your reaction if we found out that Watt didn't want to do what he was asked of him and we benched him? And
that's what you're supposed to do. That's the best case scenario.
But hey, it's TJ Watt, man. It's TJ Watt. TJ Watt can do whatever he wants. That's what a lot of the fan base and his fans
and that's
say.
what allows things like this to happen, where people like me wouldn't allow that to happen. And again, you know what? We wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. How many Super Bowls have we been winning lately?
I was fine trading him in the offseason.
Well, be that as it may, he's not going anywhere. He should have been. He should have been
gone.
He should have been coached differently. But at the end of the day, when you are the superstar, you get treatment. We all know that. We all went to the school with the high school quarterback. We know the treatment. They get it. That's never going to change. Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says this: bacon tater from an Ireland Wendy's sounds bomb. And the glare from Mike's head is finally blinding us all.
I'm about to destroy this camera.
Let's go right here. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says this. Car bomb. It'll be the car bomb. Let's go here to Sauce. Sauce says Green Bay wide receiver Christian Watson signs a 4-year, $110.5 million extension. Wholly overpay. Dude is always injured.
Dude has yet to produce over 700 yards in receiving, and he was a number 1 receiver. Because, like you said, he is hurt all the time. When healthy, he's a damn good player, but he's hurt all the time.
Let's go here to Vegas. He says, you think Tater is in the IRA? The IRA. Yeah, and I'm going to say I cheated and looked down a little bit further. It has to do with something Irish. Give me a second. I'll get down there. It's like the IRA is IRA. Wait, hold on. Tortilla says this. He says, is IRA like the IRS, but Irish? Vegas says, no. But the potato tax. The potato tax. Tortilla is saying, Sauce, I skipped over. Sauce says this. He says, also, Ian Rappaport just said on Pat McAfee, TJ, and Highsmith are playing for the Steelers in 2026. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen. Like, and at the beginning of the week, you might have thought possibly something could be in the works for a move because, again, with the big contract, logically thinking that would be a possible move. But again, Mike, that is the second thing that we talked about today that did say. So again, that's Ian. And also, again, Mike, Jerry Dulac. None of these outside linebackers are going to be moving this year. They will all 3 be on this team in 2026. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I am truly cool with that. Corey, Don't Drink That says, sounds like Alex needed a morning after pill. Saying that he got screwed the day before. He probably should have been taking his morning after pill, perhaps. That's what you're saying. Somber says this: TJ Watt isn't going anywhere this year, and he is going to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't get the sense that Alex Highsmith is going anywhere either. And that is Rappaport also being said as well. Mark Malone says the Watt man was covering for Tomlin with those comments, but possibly. And again, they're friends. Who knows? I would be dishonest for a friend if it benefit. I don't know. Come on, they're humans. At the end of the day, yes, they are famous and they're rich, but they are still human. Let's go to Lindsay. Lindsay says KG is looking KJ. I'm sorry. Caleb Johnson is looking big. Saw him on the Steelers page earlier. Everybody's looking good. You know who else? Herbig's arms. My fucking God. I seen him at a podium. His arms are like a wrestler.
Yeah. He gained some muscle in the offseason.
Yeah, he sure did, man. Mark Malone says Johnson is growing. Of course he did, right? Andrew Joe says now that Herbig is paid like a big boy, teams will be looking for him on the field. I don't see him being bigger than his earlier years. Again, it's probably going to – we don't know this defense yet. And again, I agree with you. You know, now he certainly will be paid more attention to. But again, you have three people – let's let it play out. But point taken. Very good point, certainly, Joe. Lindsay says hopefully he can do something this year. There it is. Of course. Bigger. Vegas says this dude has gambling problem before he can drink. Lindsay says he is too good to do it. Vegas says this dude's placed over $1,000 bet for over 80,000 that they know of. They placed placed over 1,000 bets for over $80,000 that they know of. 1,000 bets is a lot of fucking bets. If that's in fact what's being said. Lindsay, let's go right here. Lindsay says this, guess what? They still fear TJ, same spot or not. But I would still like to get more production out of him, though. You know, I mean, we're paying him. Why? I would use him in. I use him in ways he'd never even heard of. If I'm paying a guy this kind of money, he's gonna be doing some serious. He's gonna at least listen. He's gonna at least play where we need him to play. I mean, that's come on. Let me just remove this from my screen right here, Mike. There it is about your jammer. We do got him now. Let's go right here to Brandon. Brandon says we need to get rid of Rodgers. We will eventually. He's retiring after this season. And as a matter of fact, he put up 24 touchdowns, how many yards did he have last year, Mike? 37.
Rodgers?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
He had a good year.
He had a good year.
So at the end of the day, he's the best case. He's the best quarterback for the Steelers right now. Nobody would be better than him. Again, having a pretty good productive season, Brandon, last year with having one wide receiver to throw to. So he will be gone after this year, I can promise you. Tortilla says this, TJ likes to move it. He likes to move it. TJ likes to move it.
Okay, King Julian.
Well, Lindsay, I know Lindsay just did a little dance at home too while she thought of TJ just moving it. So for that reason, I'm going to move on. Let's go here to Mark Malone. Like Watt would do that. LOL. Let's go to Brandon. Brandon says this: we need Rodgers gone ASAP. Follows that up by saying, I can't take it anymore. We need him gone. Brandon is a little temperamental, maybe unstable today.
33,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 65.
33,000 yards.
Yeah.
3,300 yards.
Whatever, you know what I meant.
I mean, it's a little bit of a
I was going to say 3,000 yards, and then I kept going with the 33. Then my
3,400 yards, 24 touchdowns. Again, who on this team is going to put up better numbers than that, considering he did that with one wide receiver who wasn't available in the last 2 games of the year. So again, I think I'm still trying to fill Brandon out. I'm still trying to fill you out, bro. But we are happy to see you here on the board. Welcome back.
In an offense that wouldn't attack the middle of the field.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah. Let's go here. Tortilla says TJ. Okay, we did get that. Brandon. Let me get down to Lindsay. Lindsay right here says this: if Tomlin would have nipped it in the bud years ago, he would be moving around. And you're right, it ultimately is. I mean, the people that are in charge that's their job, is to make sure the shit gets done, to be in the position for the guys to be able to make the best possible plays. And the fact of the matter, the dude just wasn't listening. So, yes, I think they're both at fault ultimately. Let's go here by now. TJ's a player. If he would have been forced to, he would have. And again, here's another point, though, Lindsay. Unless you're really good friends or you've come close with somebody, you could get away with things maybe that you wouldn't if a new coach just walked into the room and, starts preaching that we want to win football games. You become comfortable. Maybe I might say something to Mike that I wouldn't say to somebody that I don't deal with every day, and vice versa. Maybe it was just things were getting a little too lax, and I think that's what people were getting suspicious of, that we're calling for Coach T. And again, we will see. We will see if that is the difference. Let's continue on right here. Let's go to Ty, my man. Tyrone says, "Sorry, I ain't texting much. I'm just so pissed and really nervous, man." Listen, I understand. But I wouldn't if I were you. I wouldn't be so nervous, man. I think we got this. We got this. Somers is about what? About JPJ. About JPJ. Let's go here to Vegas. Vegas is waiting on the AIDS test results. Tyrone says this JPJ stuff got me all fucked up today. Let's go here to Pack of Coals. Pack of Coals 100. What's up, dude? Always great seeing you. Welcome back. Pack of Coals says this in an interview. Okay, I think I can see where this is continuing. Let me get there. Somber says, never seen a man worried about another man's money so much. Go get high, Ty. Lindsay says, so Tyrone, you're going to be stressed until July. Just relax, like he isn't going anywhere. And that's more than likely how it's going to go down. It's going to probably be, it's going to be soon, but it's going to be a while, in my opinion. I think it'll be before camp. Let's go here to Mark Malone, Chief 1. Ty, it'll be over soon. Vegas says, I'm guessing JPJ gets 4 years, $120 million. Let's go to Pack of Coals. Okay, I think this is where Pack of Coals continued to right here. Pack of Coals 100 says this in an interview yesterday. TJ's stayed because of the new scheme. I can't say no to moving around the money he's making. I'm surprised that's an option for him to deny. And I agree. At the end of the day, you're 100% right. Because when I give somebody that money, I want the best possible results. Because at the end of the day, listen, yes, it's a bunch of figures to us because we're not millionaires like these people, as far as I know. And at the end of the day, it's easy to say all these things. But at the end of the day, that is a hell of a fucking lot of money to not put yourself in the best position to be the best possible player that you could be. That's way too much money. And that's kind of some of the argument with TJ. So again, don't kill me on that, but just kind of calling it the way I see it there. Let's go down to Tyrone. My man says this. He says, I'm not worried about this money. I'm worried that he's on the team. Sosh says this, Mike. He says, having Ryan sing move it while I'm taking a shit wireless headset was not on my bucket list. All the way in Switzerland, no less. In Switzerland.
It sounds like it was a life-altering experience.
Taking a Swiss shit, listening to me sing Lion King. Let's go on right here. Mark Malone says in Miami at Vegas. Vegas says, LOL. No, somber bro, he isn't going anywhere. I couldn't agree with you more. Sosh says this Mike needs to invest some of his podcast millions to buy a new camera. This is unbelievable. I agree.
This camera is great. I think it's the port that I'm plugging it into.
I'm glad you're asking him, because when I ask him these questions, he goes, I don't know. It ain't working.
I like
Sauce. Sauce is getting an explanation. I'm going to have him ask all my questions from now on.
You just forward all your questions Ryan, and then I will.
Well, Mike,
gladly
I already
answer
did
them.
it 3 days ago. You've already been answering my questions through Sauce for the past 3 days, so
That's
joke's
fine.
on you.
Hey, whatever opens up the lines of communication.
Let's go here. Somber said that would be the sell of a century. There would be fire con chance. Sauce does follow his message up by saying this, Tyrone, you need to fucking relax. JPJ is getting extended, man. This is all normal procedure. He wants a lot of money, and they're getting the easier deals done first. That is my my opinion first and foremost. He's the biggest one. This is why he is not being taken care of first. This is why he's going to be taken care of last, and it will get done, I believe, this summer for sure. I couldn't agree with you more, Sauce. Hang in there, dude. You got this, Ty. You got this. It's going to work, dude. Don't drink that. Corey says this. I wouldn't stress that JPJ is going to get his money. At the end of the day, he's going to be a Steeler no matter how much he makes. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says this, and Tyrone immediately following him in the messages. Order again, Mike. I'm just pointing it out. No real point to it. I'm just simply pointing it out. Tortilla says this, Tyrone so stressed he messed up our combos. Let's go here to Ty says this, Sauce, I would be calm, but I remember Rooney, our owner. I'm not chill. Somber says Rooney wants Porter, and I agree. I think that Porters and the Rooneys are very good friends. Ultimately, I do believe that. Let's go here, right here to Somber. He says he loves the nepotism stuff. Lindsay says somber. Corey, don't drink that. My man says this. Moving around is the only way to extend his playing career. The older you get, the easier you are to guard. He's going to have to move around for longevity purposes. I mean, it shouldn't even be a thing. Bro, you're a football player. Again, how many football teams have you ever been on where you told the coach, I don't feel like I'm going to do that? Well, guess what? This guy gets paid so much money, you can't pull a guy for telling you he's not going to do his job. That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. Vegas. Have the Steelers ever had 3 guys get 10-plus sacks in one season? That's a good question. And I do want to say welcome to my man Vegas. If I haven't, I apologize. Vegas all the way from Las Vegas. Mike, any scoop on that if you can? Have the Steelers ever had 3 players have 10-plus sacks? Let me grab Somber while you're grabbing that.
I'm looking now.
Somber says, Tyrone, just go get some Taco Bell. You will feel better. I know that makes me feel better. And Tyrone, that's his stuff, man. Scoot down. I see Sauce here. Sauce says this. I have to say, though, when your camera isn't brick so smooth as fuck, Mike. I have to say, though, when your camera isn't bricked, it's smooth as fuck, Mike. I got you.
Yeah.
Being cheap, you're a podcast millionaire. I know. Come on, Mike.
Cheap. It's an Elgato face cam. Those things aren't cheap, man. Yes, I'm not paying $5,000 for one of the ultra nice cameras, but that's a nice one. Sauce, it works good. Makes me look, as Ryan says, hey, I'm not gay, Mike, but you look good, and that camera's doing a lot of the work.
You really put a lot of weight into that comment. That was just something off the top of my. That was just something to fill
I'm
space.
just gonna never let you forget you said something nice about me.
That is something that. All right, fair enough. Let's go here. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says, "Somber, I'm not getting Taco Bell till JPJ the GOAT is paid." I'm starting to really worry now. Listen, I was worried about our tie, but it wasn't until that message, Mike. It wasn't until that message where I thought, you know what, I'm really concerned. Tyrone is not getting Taco Bell. I mean, come on. It may be a month, dude. It may be a month. Soft Taco Supremes. Just saying.
You can't give that up, man.
Cannot give that up. Let's go here to Tortilla, Mike. And again, Tyrone, Tortilla. Again, just observation. All right, because sometimes I start mixing them up later in the show. I'm like, Tortilla, and I just wanted to explain myself. But again, we love them all. Keep them coming. Just proving my point to the point head that sits next to me on your screen. Let's go ahead right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, I must say yes. Let's go down to Corey. Corey says this. Tyrone keeps commenting. Okay, hold on. Corey says this at 41 million. I'd ride a unicycle. You know what I mean? I'd sell my balls to my asshole for $41 million.
Okay. Oh god. Before we go down a dark path here, the answer to the 3 players with 10 sacks this
Yes, please.
season, no. But we've had 2 years where 2 guys had 10 sacks. 2008, 2010, and both players were James Harrison and Lamar Woodley.
All right, there you go. There is the answer to the question. And you know what? We all learned something that day. Today, with that, let's go right here to Tortilla. He says, Tyrone, he keeps commenting after me. Let's go down here to Somber. He said he's before you on my screen, Tortilla. Let's go here to Sauce. Sauce says, you look good, Mike, and you're out of my age range. Also, I'm straight, so don't come after me. Yeah, Mike, take notes.
Like first,
He gets a little too happy whenever he gets compliments from guys. I'm just saying. I don't know what that's all about, but
because then you can see if they're going to be uncomfortable with the jokes, and if they are, you keep going with them. But first Sauce doesn't want me to yell at him. Now he's telling me like I'm good looking, but I'm out of his league. You're sending mixed signals.
No,
just saying.
I got this signal. It isn't good for you. That's all I know.
I don't know, man. He listens to you while he poops.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Listens to you sing, and he dances, and he poops at the same time.
This is why I'm confident that the situation will be just fine. You just pipe down over there. Let's go here to this. Right. Don't let him fool you. He's smashing a bell box right now. He might be crying on the side, but Ty has got his Taco Bell, is what Corey is saying. Tyrone says, I am playing. I am dead ass terrified. Somber said, oh, dude, don't even. Oh. Look what Somber just wrote. Cheesy gordita crunch. That's my go-to. With the side of nacho cheese, the dip. Oh, bruh. Cheesy gordita crunch Baja Blast is whispering your name, Tyrone. You know you want me, Taco Bell. I know that you made my mind up. Let's go down right here. Tortilla Mike says this. I never comment after Tyrone. Damn it. It was I was too slow. He says Somber LOL. Lindsay Tyrone, you're funny as fuck. Just chill. Let's get right here. Tyrone said he's scared of the no Taco Bell. Sauce says this. He says, I'm just scared if we ever get into a relationship, you'd eventually start yelling at me. Right? Oh, you know what? Sauce is just saying all the right things today. You know what? I got to do it. Game ball, Sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sauce. He's well deserved. Well played.
He's been on his A game today. No two ways about that. Let's go right here to Lindsay. Mike, I can wait for you to say something nice about TJ. Yeah, Mike, why don't you just say something nice?
TJ Watt once held the NFL sack record.
That's true.
It's true.
Right.
No, I like TJ Watt, man. I just want him to do more as he's getting more and more money. That's
not
love
an
TJ
unfair.
Watt. I love TJ Watt.
And I think, Lindsay, I think you agree with us. I think you do, but we know that it's your guy, and I get that, But ultimately, when you get that money, you gotta be the best player on your team. You gotta be the person that's making plays every time that a play needs made. Because again, this is a person that doesn't touch the ball every single play, so he's got to. Again, that's a lot of money, and I think that. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I lost my thought. I am so sorry. I thought I had a funny, then it went away.
You're still thinking about when Sauce said that you were not bad looking, I think.
No. Well, yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking about. It's making me throw up in my mouth.
I was gonna Lindsay's waiting for me on Tater's couch to say something nice about TJ Watt, and it made me chuckle. And I'm like, should I say that? I don't want anyone else mad at me on the board.
Oh, yeah, well, that would be so different than every other day.
I know, right? I have a way of winning people to my side, though. First, you annoy them, then you keep annoying them, then you keep annoying them.
You're like the military; they tear you down to nothing, and they build you back to. That's what you do. You tear people down.
Yeah.
And then you build them back up in your.
You just whittle them down, and they finally go. Oh, that's just Vanilla Thunder. That's just Mike. That's just Big Sexy. That's who he is. He's a fucking idiot. He's a moron, but he's a lovable moron.
We still have a few things to get into, Mike. Let's get through some more of these messages, and we'll do so. Let's go to Lindsay. I'm sorry, no, I'm going to scoot up a little bit, actually. I'm going to go right here. Vegas says TJ and Tuitt both had 10-plus sacks in 2020, the COVID year.
I just went by what Google told me.
We think there's a big conspiracy theory, Mike, or big conspiracy with you right now.
I know. I'm feeling attacked.
Let's go right here to Corey. He says this. He says Taco Bell fucks me up, but damn, is it good? My BGs lick their lips after chicken street, dude. Everything they have is good. Everything at Taco Bell, in my opinion, is good.
Mm-hmm.
I love tacos. Lindsay says can't Tyrone says game ball is fuck Omar at fuck Omar. Lindsay says he is the best. Vegas. Lindsay Sauce. He says I'm not mad at you, Mike. You apologized. We cool, bro.
Oh, we cool, homie.
Let's go here to Christine. She says this. I think we should wait until we see what he does this season before. And I agree. Listen, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I just hope that it's good. And as I stated yesterday, Mike, I want it to be good. Mm-hmm. I don't want to not want TJ to be here. I just want him to do what he's being paid to do. And when you get paid that money, you were supposed to be making big plays more often than he has been making big plays. That's all. If he improves that, I will have nothing negative to say about the guy. Nothing. Because before, when he was winning player of the year, I didn't want him out of here.
No.
And why? Because he was accomplishing those particular goals. So again, if he does what he's getting paid to do, I'm happy. If he consistently does not, this is when you get the conversations that we're having, and again, I think are rightfully warranted. So, Christine and Lindsay, I couldn't agree with you more. I hope that he has an amazing season. I hope he has a Pro Bowl season. I hope he sets records that he's never set before. That is how much I want him to do well. So I'm right there with everybody. As much as it may seem other ways sometimes, that's not the case. So again, just trying to critically look at things and break them down. But I listen. The more successful he is, the more my football team is going to be successful at the end of the day. So that's just where we're at. We're paying you a lot of money, dude. Let's get it done. That's all. That's all. Yeah, it's not. It's not an unfair compromise.
Yeah, and that's how I am with like all the players. Like I'm expecting big years now out of Darnell and Herbig. You're getting that money now, and we paid JPJ. I'm going to expect more because the better you play, the more money you get. The expectations go higher. So
I want to skip ahead real quick because I think this point hasn't been driven home enough. Just in the last comment, he literally had a punctured lung, and nobody's giving him crap for that. I'm talking about up to that point, of course, because he couldn't control that. So up to that point, do you feel that he earned his money last year? Up to that point, the 5 games the year before to end up the season, when he put up straight goose eggs through 5 games in the sack department. Is that what he's getting paid top dollar for? I'm just saying, if he does what he's getting paid for, nobody complains. And I don't think getting the punctured lung again. Who knows what the hell even happened there? Who knows? At the end of the day, maybe Las Vegas gave somebody a call and said, you know what? Make sure TJ Watt's. Who knows what goes to hell on out there, Mike? Because there's a lot of money that moves on a week-to-week basis. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I don't think that's where people are giving him hell. I don't think. And Lindsay says that she does, and maybe they do at some points. But I don't think that that's the conversation that we're having here. Beyond that punctured lung, what are you going to do? In my opinion, there's nothing he could have did. But did he earn that money prior to that? Did he earn that money the season before? That's that period of inconsistency that I'm talking about. If he consistently stays inconsistent, that's what I'm talking about, because that's too much money for that. Again, this is something that you pay a guy that scores a lot of touchdowns on the other side of the ball for you. So you at least got to hold your end on the other side, because that money could be going elsewhere for people that may get the job done. Again, I'm not saying he's not going to get it done. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying, Mike, if he gets it done, I'm in. I'm aboard. Yeah. If he doesn't, I'm kind of out, because again, that's a lot of money. I do want to say real quick off the top, I'm going to go down to Tortilla. Tortilla, thank you for the super chat. He says Doc hit a hole in lung. A hole in lung. And again, I want this team to be good. That's all. Do I want to complain about TJ? No.
Alert.
Nope.
Do I want to complain about TJ? I don't. Let's continue on the board, though. I'm going to go right here. Lindsay says, I agree, Christine. Mark Malone, Watt has a big year ahead of him, and I hope you're right. I hope you are right. Lindsay says, I've decided we are making a Super Bowl run, so get ready. And listen, I'm all aboard. But you know who's going to have a big year for that to happen? TJ. He's going to have a huge year. So if we go 5, 6, 7 games and he gets no sacks, that's kind of what the money is going for. I'm just saying. Let's go right here. Sosh says this. It's not TJ's fault. We paid him that. He was a legend. We paid him. He fell off. It is what it is. If we can stop the run and use all 3 guys at once, he will get his opportunities. Let's go down to here to Christine. No, Ty. Ty says this. Christine, not if 24 is not out there. Vegas says 10 jumping jacks, everyone. Mike, 10 jumping jacks. You got that in you?
No. 5 years ago, yes. Today, no.
Let's go here to we did get the lungs. Let's go here to Corey. He says, look, I hate Garrett, but dude was getting 4. That's what do you think, let me ask you, do you feel that Myles Garrett earned his money over the past couple years? I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like the Browns, and I don't like him. Just me as a football fan, I'm recognizing that he was earning his money where TJ might not have been. And am I wrong? Am I wrong? Because they played 2 different games. One guy, defensive player of the year. One guy, the sack record. He earned his money. I'm just saying, again, I'm not even debating. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. And I don't even really think it's a debate at this point. We just all need to all do a little bit better because obviously our team isn't been great recently. They need to get back to being great. Yeah. Let's go here to 4 sacks in some of those games. Okay, he got it once, but TJ has had 4. TJ had 4 in a game. Garrett earned his money more recently in what has been falling off. Let's go. Christine says this. She says, yeah, if they trade him or cut him, in all honesty, he has a good case to sue the fuck out. Sue the fuck out of them. I got you. All right. Things are moving on me here. Lindsay says, I do. So that's not a reference to Tater's question earlier today. Was it, Lindsay? I don't know. That was just a random I do. I'm just saying. Just kidding, of course, Lindsay. Letting her have it today. Let's go here to Sauce. Sauce says, speaking of Herbig and Washington extensions at Mike, I like how Khan structured it with low guarantees. We have an early out if they can't live up to the expected. And that's the way. Yes. Exactly.
Like I love the way he does contracts because on paper they look huge and massive and like, oh my God, it's going to screw us up. And then you start, once the details are released and you go onto like Spot Track and Over the Cap, they break those contracts down really well. And you can see like, oh, that's like a 2-year deal. Oh man, that's like this 6-year contract's really a 3-year contract and gives us a lot of flexibility to where if a mistake is made, it's not going to cost us like 4 or 5, 6 years. It's a 2-year deal, 3-year deal. And even then, bite the bullet on one bad contract, you're not screwed because all your other contracts are structured the same way and you're not going to miss on every single free agent or every single extension. So the way he does things financially, I don't think we're ever going to be in a situation where you see how Cleveland is or the Saints and Miami where they're all fucked with bad contracts and all this dead cap space. So this roster, as long as Omar Khan's going to be in charge of this, we're going to be able to sign a lot of guys, but also move on from them quickly if things don't work out.
Mark Maloney had a hip early last year, he's saying. Of course, that was an injury for him for sure. Let's go to Corey. Don't drink that. I have a solution. He says every player, you give every player a certain percentage of guaranteed, like 25% of what you make is guaranteed, but the offset is that your money is subject to change based on your performance. I mean, in a perfect world, I guess that's ideal. But again, at the end of the day, it's not a perfect world. I don't disagree, but Corey, I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing, unfortunately. Let's go to Christine. She says, we just aren't used to them spending or having money. LOL. They're like, you get $1 million, you get $1 million. You're right. Vegas says, I don't like bonuses paid on individual numbers in a team sport. Pay them extra after they win each week. Boy, Myles Garrett would be broke. All those years with the Cleveland Browns. I mean,
I know, right?
Omar Winfrey. Tortilla saying, Somber with the money bags. RAS score of 0. Vegas is saying, Christine says this, it's about time we invest in success and roll with the times. All these other edge rushers are getting paid just as much. By the end of his contract, it probably won't seem as much. I think Mike made a really good point earlier too, guys. We talk about these edge rushers. Without saying the name that was mentioned earlier, Von Miller. Who's the last big named edge rusher to be on a Super Bowl winning team? Can anybody? I don't know the answer. I'm thinking back, but I mean, you're talking about your Crosbys, your Garretts, your TJs, your Hendricksons, your Bosas, your any of these sexy names. So all this money going to these edge rushers, big money, top money, a lot of money, sexy position on defense. But who was the actual last team to win a Super Bowl that had one of these big name pass rushers? So again, are we spending our money wisely? Should be a question.
And real quick, Vegas, are you saying my relative athletic score is 0?
I would say even less than that. I was thinking negative something. Mike, what would you give your score as?
Oh no, man. We
Mike, you got injured going reverse in your car. I'm just throwing it out there.
Hey man, that just happens with old age. Happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
But you get a couple adult slushies in Big Sexy. I'm running camp drills. I'm doing lineman drills.
Then we'd have to hear about your knee for the next 6 months.
But at that time, during that combine, when I'm in prime peak liquored up athletic performance fuel rage, I'm ready to go.
Let's move on. Christine, as all these other rushers are just getting paid just as much, by the end of the contract, it probably won't seem as much. She follows it up by saying, I'm not sure why they would have won a game without Miles. Well, they're stupid over there. I do want to say that. They gave up their defensive coordinator, who had them as the number 2 pass defense in the league last year, and then they give up Myles Garrett. So I really you can't really seriously question anything Cleveland does at the end of the day, because they don't know. There's no answer that makes sense. Sosh says this. Okay, to get back to Corey's point about Garrett, Myles had 5 sacks in a game where they lost by 19. No impact. He's the better player, but come on, a lot of stat padding at times. Point made. Good point made. Vegas says this. In 3 years, Herbig will still have 2 years left on his contract, making $25 million a year, which will make it look like a bargain for sure. Stat. Sauce did throw in there. Of course, we've seen that. Stat, not stat. It's stat. Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says this. Herbig is 24, so he won't even be 30 at the end of his new contract. Listen, if I'm 24 and over the next 4 to 5 years I'm getting $100 million, you better believe my 30s are going to be spent in retirement. You better believe my 30s and 40s until death I would be in retirement. If you made $100 million by the time you was 29 years old, you wouldn't even remember I was a football player. I'd be out of the game so long.
I'd be gone.
Let's do scoot down a little bit here, though. I'd give Mike a 6.9. There you go, Mike. Sauce is coming around. He's coming around.
Yes, he is. We're best buds.
Vegas says if 10 jumping jacks defeated you, then yes, it's a 0.0.
I didn't say they defeated me. I just say right now, me sitting in this chair, I can't do 10 jumping jacks.
Well, stand up and do them.
No.
Christine says probably Nick Bosa, maybe. Where did he win at? Because San Fran, they didn't win the Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't know the answer. So I listen. It wasn't an awkward silence. It was me thinking. So I guess that could be considered as awkward. Let's go here. Tortilla. He says, what about 10 tortilla jacks? 10 tortilla jacks. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure I want to know. Let's go right here to Christine, no, Tyrone. Tyrone says, man, I'm craving Taco Bell too. This sucks. Go get your bell, dude. Don't deprive yourself. All right, there's nothing that we'll be able to do about it. It's gonna get done. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your life, man. Go Christine. She says, I think 22 or 23. They signed Boza for 170 million, 4 to 5 years. I don't think he won a Super Bowl though. But if that's, I mean, that's along the right lines. Good. We do appreciate the information. Somber says, fine. Tortilla says this. He says this is for real Tyrone Super Bowl. Corey says Frank Clark was the last edge rusher making over $100 million to win a Super Bowl in 2020 and 2023. He was on a 5-year, $104 million deal. And I got to be honest, I don't even know who Frank Clark is.
And like in those years, like from 2020 to 2022 on the Chiefs, he had 15 total sacks. Like, he wasn't an edge rusher. He was a typical outside linebacker in the 4-3 there. So like to quantify him as an edge with 15 and a half sacks in 3 years, does that really fit the argument?
Krista, yes, the 49ers did not win. They have not won a Super Bowl since 1995.
Unless she's talking about like, signing someone like someone young to big money, and then if they play well, the contract looks like a bargain.
Okay, so
she clarified. My bad. I misinterpreted too.
Tortilla Clark was balling that year, if I remember correctly. Where's Clark now? The thing is, I think the point being made is this is not generally where most money goes to teams that are getting it done, is spending their money. I think that's the point. I mean, if we split hairs, yes, we could find Frank Clark again. I can't tell you even very much about him, but and then Christine, she said that she thought that we were talking about it. Got to the Super Bowl, so my bad. That's my fault. So let me move along. Let's go right here to Vegas. Vegas says 0-2 versus 10 jumping jacks.
We'll be sure to edit that comment out of the replays.
And again, listen, I want this team to be as good as everybody else does. That's all, and we haven't been. So I'm looking at things that we've been doing and saying, you know what, this isn't working. This isn't working. So, we'll learn a lot about our squad this year, of course, under new coaching staff, new system, new everything. And then we'll see, and we'll be able to get a better idea on a lot of these topics. Christine says this. Corey says this. Before that, it was Miller with the Broncos. They won it while he was on his rookie deal, where he signed a $114 million 6-year deal after they won, but he had to win a Super Bowl to get his money. Christine says, I thought you just said, and I might have, and I apologize. She says this, I thought you said just played in the Super Bowl because they were in the Super Bowl but got beat. Gotcha on that. Sosh says this, I don't think there's a recipe to success. You just need to have a good overall team, a balanced team. Well, meanwhile, we're not, and again, not arguing, just saying, wouldn't it be beneficial if we had a quarterback that made that money? Then you know that you're in good hands. The quarterback touches the ball every play. Again, this outside linebacker, an edge rusher, making that money, he's got to play top. He's got to play. Otherwise, again, are you getting the best bang for your buck? I don't know. And I'm just saying, again, not being argumentative, just trying to piece it all together like everybody else is. Because maybe there isn't a formula. But one thing that I do know is good quarterbacks are, getting it done. Quarterbacks that make that money are getting it done. A lot of them. I guess Lamar ain't. But that's all right with me. Let's go here to Corey. He says this. I looked it up, and that's what I got back. Laughed my ass off. I don't know his exact position, so point for Mike. And that's the thing. It's no, it's not even a point. It's just
like, like what's classified as an edge. Because in some teams, like your edge rusher might just be like your outside linebackers playing as an extra D lineman because you're not playing your typical 3-4 base. Like the term edge has to me has no meaning because Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby all play different positions, different responsibilities within
And Micah Parsons.
and Micah Parsons, but they're all people want to say, oh, they're all edge rushers. But
that's the point, yes.
A lot of them do all four of them do different things in the scheme to where they have different strengths and weaknesses. So you really can't classify them all as like edge rushers. Like Myles Garrett's not going to drop into coverage. Max Crosby isn't going to drop into coverage. But guess what? TJ Watt can. Micah Parsons can. He did it well in college at Penn State. So to say they're all in the same position to me is kind of it dilutes the value of their abilities because they do different things, different responsibilities. I just hate the term edge.
Give me outside linebackers yesterday. We had this exact same conversation off the air yesterday, Mike, and they created this position.
Yeah,
it's I grew up
PFF-ification of football.
I grew up in a time where there was a defensive end and an outside linebacker, and you don't necessarily have defensive ends and outside linebackers anymore. You have this created edge position, and that's what it is. It's the sexy position that they created on the defense in the NFL. And again, that position isn't it's not dominating in the way that it's helping the players as individuals. Yes, they are having defensive player of the year, getting recognized. But where did the Browns again finish, as was mentioned on the board yesterday? Where did the Browns finish? They finished with 5 wins again. So is that money being allocated well in Cleveland? If they're giving Myles Garrett all this money, he becomes defensive player of the year, but the whole rest of the team blows. See what I'm saying? Is that managing your team right? Again, so that's just the direction I'm going. I want everything to be good. I want TJ to have a great year. I hope that he has a great year. And again, this conversation could be a lot funner. Christine says, very true, Mike. Tyrone says, Tortilla, we might get through it for a while. Also, Tortilla, Mike, again, Tyrone and Tortilla back to back, just pointing it out. Tortilla says, you think when Tater says bloody stool, he's just talking about a stool. A couple more, and then I have a couple other things to get into, Mike. As we were rounding third on this show, basically, Tyrone says quarterback, tackle, cornerback, edge, top 4 positions in football. Sosh, my man, says this. Funny enough, the only quarterback winning a Super Bowl with an expensive contract. And I'm not even going to through this before I do have a comment on this, but I'm going to finish this comment first and see what Sosh says here. He says, funny enough, the only quarterback winning a Super Bowl with expensive contract was Mahomes in 2017, and I would take that in a heartbeat. I would take a guy like Mahomes for that kind of money in a heartbeat. The rest is between 5 and 12% of the cap space, 17%. And that's the kind of guy that deserves that kind of money.
Yeah.
Why? Because he constantly leads that team to victory and makes the plays that team needs to get to the Super Bowl, as they did year after year after year after year. So as some of these other edge rushers, they sneak into it, 49ers and Von Miller, it's certainly not because of that position. So is that position where you want to be putting all your money? Again, I think it's more of a business move than a football move at the end of the day. Let's get to a couple other topics, Mike. I got a couple offense and defense. Mike, on defense, new coaches see Ramsey is their version of the do-it-all Charles Woodson, Mike, talking about players, the great players of the past, Von Miller's players of this nature. Charles Woodson, Mike, they were comparing and saying that he could be a Charles Woodson type player, talking about Jalen Ramsey because, again, Mike, it's a safety position. You're going to have this battle between Brisker and Elliott and Savage going on. So Jalen Ramsey is going to be free to do a lot of other things, Mike. Steelers defense, Patrick Graham and company, very, very excited about using Jalen Ramsey this year.
Oh, yeah. I want to see him all over the field because they're talking about him being like their, I forget what terms they used, star cornerback, money linebacker, whatever terminology they were using. I like the idea of him playing all over the field. He can still line up outside occasionally, but better on the inside. Can still play safety. It can be that smaller, quicker linebacker if you need to interchange pieces to have someone out there to cover, but someone who's not afraid to put their nose in ugly situations. Patrick Graham, Jalen Ramsey. Once I'll get to the correct name, he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up with anyone. I think he's just going to be a great player this year. I think we're going to see he's going to be even better than he was last year. Now with this new scheme, got a shit ton of talent around him now with the other corners and the safeties. He's gonna be able to do a lot of things, and he's a playmaker. He's a ball hawk.
Mike, let me stop you for a second. Let me ask everybody on the board. Let me ask you guys: would you rather have a franchise quarterback, or would you rather have TJ Watt? Would you rather have a quarterback that you feel confident week to week that you could win football games? Would you rather have a quarterback who's going to get you to the playoffs and make plays and do things week to week, like a Patrick Mahomes, for example, because he's the last person we spoke about? Would you rather have your franchise quarterback, or would you rather continue to pay TJ Watt the money he makes? This ultimately is what I'm coming around to. It's not because I dislike TJ. It's not because I'm upset that he got a punctured lung. This comes down to me. I want my franchise quarterback. That's where I want my money. That's how it's supposed to be. So again, that's my question. Would you rather have your franchise quarterback, or would you rather continue to pay TJ the money that you're paying him and continue with the same results that we've been getting? This is what I'm saying, because it seems like I'm being argumentative. I'm not. Again, I'm just trying to make sense of it all and trying to take it all in and get a feel what everybody's saying. But at the end of the day, I would rather have my franchise quarterback 10 times out of 10. And that's being prevented for other reasons. But you can, Tyrone. But again, what else are you going to have? You're going to turn into the Cincinnati Bengals. If you're going to pay TJ what you're paying TJ, and then pay your quarterback what you're going to want to pay a franchise quarterback, I mean, who else you can really be paying at that point? You're going to run into some big problems. So it's usually a one or the other. You don't really see a team with both of these players. You just don't. But let me get to some of the comments here. The question being, would you rather have your franchise QB, or would you rather have TJ getting paid the money and still get the results that we've been getting with him getting paid the money he has all this time? Sosh says this. He says franchise quarterback, of course, but TJ was excellent until 2 years ago. Sosh says, and every sane person would say a franchise. I would agree. I would agree. Let's continue. Tyrone says this: franchise QB, but TJ was him till last year. Well, it was dead the year before, where he fell off when we needed him the most, actually. And he put up zeros in the last 5 games. That's where it started for me. Sosh, but you can have both. Look at the yeah. All right, point taken.
The Rams have a.
What do they have?
I'm gonna say they have a lot of young talent that they're not paying a lot of money to, because I'm looking at their salary cap and contracts right now. Like, they have guys like Poona Ford on D-line. He's their 7th highest paid player, making $11 million. Like, then after that, the salaries drop, and you got a lot of young players and that are on rookie contracts playing well, and then a mix of veterans that they got on the cheap that are outperforming their contracts too. So you got to have a really good balance of young talent coming along and older talent at the end of their career that you can get on the cheap that are still playing at a high level. Like, they can do it and they're playing well, but how long is that success going to keep going? You know, like, they tend to tear down and rebuild. If you're comfortable with that as an owner and as a fan base, it can be done, but you got to eat a lot of bad times before you get back to the good times.
Let's continue on, Mike. I've seen a lot of interesting stuff coming up here.
Yeah.
Tyrone, you can have both too, though. Give me TJ and some fries. Tortilla is saying. Let's go. TJ says tortilla comes with a side of JPJ. Christine saying outside of a quarterback, Aaron Donald took up massive portion of the cap. Los Angeles Rams. And I got to be honest with you. I can't quite possibly say I'm even understanding what's going on with the Rams. You get Matt. You got your franchise quarterback. Bottom line, this team is winning. They have a franchise quarterback, just like the Patriots did for 20 straight years, just like for the Chiefs did for 6 straight years. Guess who's not? Guess who else did when they had their franchise quarterback? Oh, The Steelers were in it all the time. The Colts were in it just about every time. You know who doesn't get there? Who doesn't win? It's the teams that don't have that quarterback. We're paying 4 quarterbacks about $8. I mean, that's what our quarterback room is. If you're paying 4 guys about a minimum wage, you're not getting the best results from your quarterback room. I'm seeing another one here saying that we have to find a quarterback first. But again, we decided to make this decision. We're going to pay Aaron Rodgers minimum wage last year. We're going to have a rookie. We're going to have a second string guy and a guy that's been here forever that really doesn't deserve much money. So again, at the end of the day, how much effort have we put into getting that franchise quarterback? I seen that the Patriots got their franchise guy in that same period of time. I seen that Denver got their franchise guy in that period of time. And guess what? Say what you want about those two guys. They were in the championship game against one another last year. So again, at the end of the day, I'm not seeing a team that's spending all this money on edges. They went and got their franchise guys. Who was in the championship last year? Those two teams. Who was not? The teams that had Myles Garrett, the teams that had Max Crosby, the teams that had TJ Watt, and the teams that had every player that we're talking about. So again, at the end of the day, I would rather have my franchise quarterback, and you got to do whatever it takes to get your franchise quarterback. And again, at the end of the day, Mike, all these teams went out and got their guy, and they are all, again, ahead of us. They're, again, ahead of us. New England won a Super Bowl more recent than we did. They had their downtime, and guess what? They're back in the Super Bowl. Denver, you see what I'm saying? So again, I get the argument, but I'd rather have that franchise QB all day. Yeah. I just would. Again, look around. Look what's working. Look what isn't. And it's not foolproof. So, I mean, somebody's going to say, okay, well, this guy made it this year. That's fine. But you're really undermining the point when you're making that argument.
Really realistically and historically, you have to have the guy at quarterback.
You have to.
Unless you luck into.
And again, we're paying 4 guys we're paying a combo meal for 4 guys. That's not a recipe for winning anything.
Yeah. I mean, look, we tried having great defenses and, game managers at quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And it didn't work until we got Ben, until we got a legit franchise guy that we were able to build around. Yes, we had a good team in place, but he came in and was able to elevate it. And that's what we're hoping to do right now, it looks like. But once, we get that guy and it comes time for his contract and you got tough choices to make, do you want to keep that franchise quarterback or do you want to keep our new favorite edge rusher, whoever it might be at that moment? Like, I would still want to pay the money to the quarterback because it is the most important position out there. And we've seen it is the hardest position to find. And once you find one, you kind of want to lock them up long term and then figure out everything else around them.
So again, I understand, Christine, what you're saying, Aaron, but it's not working for us. So that's a problem for me. As it works on the other side of the country, 3,000 miles away, there's not much I could do or say, but I know that it's not working for us. I know, again, we're paying out about $15 for our 4 quarterbacks, but we do have an edge rusher, a top paid edge rusher. I'm just saying we haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. Let's move along now. Let's go right here, Mark. If we trade JPJ, we could trade up for a quarterback next year. And I'm not recommending that at all, of course. Let's move along a little bit on the board. We did get Christine there. Let's go here. Tyrone says true sauce. But that's the thing, right? That's how you win a Super Bowl at Mike. You find the good rookies that can contribute, find players. And that was a part of the Rams, certainly part of their success formula as well. No two ways about that.
Yeah, and we're quietly getting back to that way here.
Yeah. I know. Look at that. Look at them numbers. I'm going to get to them in just one second. That's mind-blowing, Christine. Vegas says, how many of the quarterbacks that sucked last year and went back to school still will suck again this year and not be close to being a first-round pick? That's a good question. That is a good question. We're going to have a lot of fun following college quarterbacks this year, for sure. For sure. Christine says, I think Rams going all the way. Well, Vegas does as well. That's why I don't. And again, why do we? Why do we think the Rams are going to go all the way this year? I think it's because of Matt Stafford. That's me personally. Listen, I know it's not Aaron Donald. So if they do go back, that will be with their franchise quarterback and without that defensive player that you're making the argument for. Let's go here. Mark Malone says, good question. Let's go to Ty. I think at least 5 or 6 comes out for sure Vegas. Going back to the quarterbacks at least. Vegas says Russ got paid a happy meal. And that's what I'm saying. It isn't like we spent any money on quarterbacks for how long now? Ever since Ben left. I mean, we were paying a rookie contract in Kenny. We were paying Russell Wilson, old man wages. Justin Fields. We weren't exactly paying any money out to quarterbacks. And again, we are a team that has not won a playoff game in 10 years. The teams that got the high-paying franchise quarterbacks, I don't see them going 10 years without winning a playoff game. Let's go to Sosh. Sosh says this. He says the Rams found Puka Nacua in the 5th. That's players you need to be able to win a Super Bowl. They wouldn't be able to pay Stafford and Garrett without having a superstar wide receiver on a rookie deal. Christine says Sam Darnold. Okay, we did get that one on the 3. Christine said, "Oh my God, I looked it up. Kurt Warner was getting paid $250,000. Brady was only getting paid $300,000. Wow, have times changed?" Exactly. We weren't paying Russ anything. We had a quarterback for free. That's not a recipe for winning a Super Bowl. I'm just saying. A free quarterback is not the recipe for a Super Bowl win. Let's go here. Tyrone, that's crazy cheap. Laugh my ass off. Tortilla immediately after him, Mike says Herbig the Edge Master. And then Tyrone immediately after him says, I will say Tomlin couldn't develop a quarterback to save his life. Glad McCarthy got here. Get us one next year. Christine says Russ was getting paid. Yeah, they were. Like I said, it's crazy. That's crazy what went on there. Tortilla says Myles Garrett is a goon rusher. Tyrone again right after Tortilla. Tortilla says I'm about off great. I'm about off great show. You bastards still listening. JPJ, my man, for sure, bro. Listen, we're all on the same page. Believe me, we are. We're all just trying to scramble to find the answers together. Because we're going to all be crying together when we lose. And we're all going to be celebrating together when we win. So at the end of the day, I think we're all fighting the same thing, but we're all just coming from different angles. Sash says Tyrone breaking JPJ in trade talks. Guys, a couple things here, Mike. This is about our offense. A couple quick notes. Roman Wilson, clearly wide receiver 3 at this moment over Jeremy. Mike, this is by way of a beat writer. He is saying that Roman clearly is sitting at wide receiver at this moment over Jeremy, which I don't think is a bad thing or even weird. I think that being here for a few years should stand for something, and for whatever reason he didn't get those opportunities. Again, Jeremy is a rookie. We plan on using him a lot. We plan on him being an effective weapon on this team, Mike. But right now it is being said that Roman Wilson, he has the lead at that wide receiver 3.
Yeah, and like you said, I would expect him, who's been in the system for a few years now, to have a lead over the rookie, even though the rookie has been, from what all accounts, been doing the right things, showing up to camp and showing out in practices and doing well. But still, I would expect the guy who's been here longer to be more productive at the moment. But I have a feeling by end of training camp, when the season starts around, I think it's going to be a coin flip between the two, who's wide receiver 3. And I think that's going to be a good problem to have.
I do too. I don't think this is the worst problem ever. As a matter of fact, I like it. I like the fact that Roman's actually putting up a fight. I like the fact that Jeremy's not just handed the position just because. I think this is healthy, Mike, with a few of the other competitions going on the Steelers, safety mainly. Mike, also this wide receiver 3. Finally, offensive line could fall into that category as well, Mike. IMAX says Broderick Jones has been a really an amazing mentor, Mike. IMAX giving all the kudos to Sir Broderick as he is being quoted, a really amazing mentor, Mike. Broderick Jones, hell of a teacher.
Hey, maybe that could be like, if his career cannot rebound, coaching could be in his future. And I like the way Brojo's handling this, being the veteran of the room, of helping the young guy out. Like, I like it. A lot of people in his position would be like, "Hey, kid, I'm rehabbing over here. Go talk to someone else." And
Right.
him to have that, like, "Hey, I understand where you're coming from. A young raw guy coming into the league, I got your back." And that's the kind of teammate you like to have around.
All right, let's go through the rest of these messages, Mike, and we are going to get to the 2-minute warning here in just a moment. Wilson is the GOAT. Let me go. Okay, right here, I do believe. Tortilla says, "Oh, God, Tyrone is going to burn Ohio down." I think everything is going to be just fine, guys. Still Loyal. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Still Loyal. He says, "Roman Wilson is the GOAT." Great seeing you here today, sir. Corey, don't drink that. I haven't seen it yet. Sauce is rage baiting. Sauce. I think Sauce is rage baiting. I don't think that is really happening right now. Sauce says, "I've heard 3 firefighter trucks drive down the road just now. Maybe they are all heading to Ohio all the way from Switzerland." Tyrone says, "With shorts on, wait till the patch." That's right, baby. That is what we were all waiting for. Vegas says, "Roman was so excited that he finally got the ball. He jumped for joy and fumbled." Oh,
damn.
That was a good one. You know what? I got to give you a partial game ball there because I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think most people do as well with that particular play. Mark Malone says, "Hope the Roman chips in this year." Somber says, "It's a new offense." That's nothing but good news that he's picking it up well. I couldn't agree with you more, brother. And then finally, Tortilla said, "The devil went down to Ohio, and he told Tyrone he's scared." Mike, why don't you tell Tyrone and everybody else about the website?
Head on over to the2dumyinzers.com. We got all of our articles that we punch up and we post them up over there. We got all of Ron and I's social media over there. And if that's your thing, we also have links to the merch store. So check it out at the2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, guys. Lots of cool stuff over on the website at www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com, guys. Go check it out. Or the 2dumyinzers, not at 2dumyinzers. Guys, let's get into the question of the day. Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board, put on your thinking cap as well. As I mentioned earlier, today's question of the day is going to be about these outside linebackers, these edge rushers, whatever you want to call them, Mike. This is what the question is going to be about today. Corey said he fumbled and then was put on the injury report with a knee, out for the season. His one fumble, or Roman, I think is who we're talking about. Let's get to this question, guys. Here we go. Question of the day. Between the big 3 edge rushers that we do have, of course, no mistakes. It's TJ, it's Highsmith, it's Herbig. Which one of these 3 big-time edge rushers, Mike, had the most sacks in their college career?
Ooh.
Who had the most college sacks out of TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Nick Herbig? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
If you think you might know it, if you don't, throw up a guess. Guys, question of the day. Who had the most sacks in college out of these 3 players, Mike, Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, and Herbig? They're all making a lot of money to do it in the pros. But my question to you is, who did it the most in college? Mike, what is your thought process?
Like Herbig was more of an inside backer in college. TJ Watt, like I said, watching him in Wisconsin, I was impressed with him. I think he was like a 1-year college wonder. It really came on his senior year. I think Alex Highsmith, coming out of I forget where he came out of, Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
I think he played a lot of ball down there. So I'm going to go with Alex Highsmith, and playing at a lower tier university, and a guy who had really good potential coming out of college. I think he feasted down there. So I'm going to go with Highsmith.
All right, I'm seeing a whole bunch of different answers on the board, Mike. I'm seeing, I think that it might be Highsmith. I'm seeing it might be Herbig. I'm seeing TJ Watt. Pretty mixed on this, guys, as the question of the day is, of the big 3 out of TJ, Highsmith, and Herbig, the 3 moneymakers of conversation, of course, today. Which one of them had the most sacks in college, their college career? Mike, you said Alex Highsmith. Again, I'm seeing different messages on the board. Guys, I'll give you just another moment. Throw your guesses up. Maybe you may know it. Throw it up as well. Mike, I'm just going to go through a few of them here to see what we have. Let's go to That's what I'm saying. Also with Roman, I think that's crazy as well. Still, let's go right here, Vegas. I'm not in charge of that sauce. Corey, don't drink that. True game ball winner is a team player. Learn to share, you degenerate. Let's go to TJ Watt. TJ Watt, Mike, is who Ty is saying. Jack Sawyer, unless we're not counting it. No, we're just going with the big three today. Just going with the big three today. Somber is saying Herbig. Vegas, when you only get okay, we did get that. Herbig out of those three, she's saying Herbig as well. TJ Watt, I'm seeing by a couple different people here. Herbig, Highsmith by Tortilla. TJ only played 1 year at Wisconsin. A lot of different things going on the board here, guys. And Tyrone, or Jamal, I don't know. He says, dude, why couldn't I find the show? I don't know. We apologize about that. Guys, the question of the day of the big three, TJ, Highsmith, and of course, now Nick Herbig, the big three moneymakers at the edge position. Who had the most sacks in college? Right off the top, TJ had 11.5 sacks in college. The other two players had 21 and 20 sacks in college. TJ Watt, 11 and 5 was not the answer. The other two guys, 21 and 20 sacks in college. Alex Highsmith, everybody, had 20 sacks in college. Nick Herbig, of the three, the most recent of the big contracts, had more sacks in his college career than the other two. Herbig, 21. Alex Highsmith, 20. TJ Watt, 11.5. The answer for the day is, in fact, Nick Herbig.
Damn.
Great job. Some people did get it correct on the board. That was a tough one. Again, one of them questions, unless you know, you know. Unless you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you know it, you know it. And if you don't, you might have to guess. But that's what we had there. Corey said the obvious answer is TJ, but that makes me think it was Highsmith. Steel Loyal was saying, I do think it was Herbig for some reason. Google said JPJ. Tortilla says Google said JPJ on that. Let's go to Vegas. He says, how good would TJ be if he stayed at tight end? Jamal says, I just watched an hour of the June 1st show. Oh, my God. I don't know, dude.
Check your notifications. Make sure they're on, because I know YouTube is good for, like, not making sure people notifications stay on. They'll turn them off. If you had us on your notifications, you can check that.
What was that? Somebody die?
It's the cat.
Oh. I think it was TJ, was a tight end for a while, so it probably wasn't him. Corey, damn it, Bobby. I knew it wasn't TJ, though. He went back to his college roots last year. Somber says this winner, chicken dinner. Correct. The answer is, in fact, Nick Herbig with his 21 collegiate sacks, Mike, is the answer of the day. I do want to say, what do I want to say? Mike, your thoughts on today's show?
Oh, Darnell here, locked up. I love that move. I think it was a great move. Hopefully that does not preclude us to get in that contract with JPJ. But I think, like you said, you're knocking out the contracts that were kind of easy to get through. Like Darnell's was easy. Herbie's was easy as well. I think Keanu Benton would be an easy re-sign as well. And then, like you said, the most difficult one is going to be JPJ, because I think there probably is a gap between where the team wants to be and where he wants to be. And now it's finding the middle ground, the happy ground, to where both sides are satisfied. So, but I think it's going to take a while for both sides to reach it out. But I'm hopeful. I know earlier in the show I was kind of worried, but I'm going to let Tyrone handle that.
Oh, look at you. You're a wreck. What's wrong with you?
I haven't slept for the past couple of days really well. I had coffee yesterday. I had a Monster today. I'm just all jittery, and I'm
all right. So we're done talking about Mike's fluid intakes. Let's get back to the board here. I'm going to go to right about here, guys. I don't, Corey. I don't. Listen, I'll shoot you some. You're on Discord. If it comes to me, I'll shoot you. I'll talk about it tomorrow. I just don't remember what it was. I had something. I do know that. Christine says technically it was Highsmith, though, because he only had 3 years, and Herbig, well, technically he still had more, though. That was the question, was who had more. The amount of years is really irrelevant to the question, but I totally get you. Somber says, meh, competition level. The Big Ten, though. Big Ten, baby. Always hear the great stuff about the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's where the national champions come from, baby.
Yeah. Let's go tortilla. Ryan was going to ask. Okay, let's do that. Boobs. Yeah. I don't know, Corey. Tell me something good about boobs. Well, that will suffice for now. Let's go to right here where Christine says in TJ 11 or 12 in only 2 years. That's what I'm saying. He only ended out with 11 and a half in college. Vegas, the answer is usually the answer usually is the name currently in the news, if that's an option. Let's go here to Corey. Corey does say this. He says JPJ is going to be harder because Joey won't let him be conned. It's possible. Best for last tortilla is also saying. Let's go here to Mark Malone. So glad we are getting the important guys extended. Vegas says you just got done with your hibernation. Now you want to sleep. Mark Malone says Benton getting it done. I know. Didn't you just have a vacation or something, Mike?
I had a vacation, and then I had another impromptu mini vacation.
All right. Benton getting done. Mark Malone says pay JBJ. Tyrone. Vegas says 3 in a row, baby. Guys, today we will finish up mandatory mini camp. That will wrap up today. Off tomorrow all the way up until Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and next week will be the OTAs. Will be the final 4 days of the OTAs, and then we won't be too far off anymore, guys. We're going to be in the middle of June when that does wrap up, so that kind of gives you an indicator that we're moving right along in this off season. Very excited about this. A few things before we do get ready to wrap up, Mike. A lot of sports going on. It's summertime. I know that people like to relax and take a little bit off with some alcohol. If you do, if you are in the mood to grab some drinks, do stop at Giant Eagle, Mike. They do have Duquesne Pilsner now available in 6 and 12 packs, and wherever cases are sold, grab some Duquesne Pilsner, Mike. People over there are fantastic people, as a matter of fact. They're always willing to help us out. So we at least are trying to do the same for them. Maybe you don't drink that much. That's okay. Swing by over to their social media and do hit the follow for them, guys. I know that it will help them out. I know they will appreciate it. We always do have Duquesne Pilsner on tap here in the studio for every event, like made here in Pittsburgh. The Duquesne Pilsner can says it right there on the can. Grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, you can check us out as well when you're on social media. You can find us on Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button, keep up with what's going on with the Two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, the sub, the share, leave a comment. It all helps us out, guys. We appreciate it all greatly. Thank you so much. Mike, the Pittsburgh Pirates again today, game 3, the rubber match against the Houston Astros. But the big thing about the Buccos is this: get on and vote for your favorite All-Star. Listen, even if you're not a Pirates fan, I know we get a lot of out-of-town people here that love the Steelers. Swing over and vote some of these Pirates, and it'll help us out. Your dear friends here in the Berg, guys, as they are having a pretty good season. Swing over and vote for some Pirates to get into the All-Star games. You could vote up to 5 times a day. So I'm watching you, Tortilla and Steele and everybody else. I got my eye on you. But now you can get on. You can vote up to 5 times per day for your favorite All-Stars on MLB.com or at PittsburghPirates.com. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow, Mike, to get into a lot more. Who knows? Who knows what the hell's going to happen between now and then? We know between yesterday and today, we had a big contract that we wasn't expecting to get done yesterday. 10 o'clock at night, Darnell Washington wraps up his contract. Yep. We get home yesterday after the show. The big news was they were working on Keanu Benton. So again, Mike, it's just a matter of time before they dig into this JPJ contract. Yeah. They're probably already working on it to a degree. Guys, my friend Ty and everybody else who's a little concerned, I wouldn't be too concerned. Not at this point anyway. I think that it's all going to be coming in due time. So we'll be staying on top of that and everything else, Mike, as mandatory does wrap up and as we do get ready to head into the weekend before heading back into that last week of OTA. So still a lot of stuff going on as we were here in June. Slowly but surely, Mike, quickly actually getting to football season. Just a little bit closer every day.
It's right around the corner. Like I keep saying, pretty soon we are going to be hearing, the pads pop and helmets crack, and I can't wait. And I am like continually refreshing Twitter because you know how it is. We go off the air and then boom, breaking Steeler news happens. And right now, terrible board, nothing yet. So Everyone, please keep Tyrone in your thoughts and prayers in these trying times.
Absolutely.
Hashtag pray for Tyrone.
Christine says, Ty, what happened to an Omar you trust? Sosh sends you a kiss and a wink with love, of course, Mike. And Mike's never one to turn that down. So
from one bro to another bro.
Vegas says, oh boy, we have a fire weather watch. Somber Vegas says it's only 98 degrees. Oh, let's hope that that's okay. Let's hope that Ty's okay. Let's hope that everything and everybody is okay, guys, as we do work our way to the end of the week. The work week is getting close to an end. And, Mike, even maybe your kids might have started their summer vacation, as Mike is dealing with as well. But we do wish everybody all the best with that. I know that, Mike, that is a three-month job. It just never seems to end.
Kill me now. It's only not even officially day one of them being done with school, because it doesn't count because they went to school for an hour.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure the summer will fly right by. Let's get right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, Ty's so mad, ice caps melting. Poor Ty. Like on Friday, he's crying in the car. Sorry, Ty.
We love you, buddy.
We do love you. Let's see what else, Mike. Again, that's pretty much it. We do have the NHL tonight, Game 2. Vegas Golden Knights at Carolina. Vegas does lead that series 1-0. Tonight, 8 o'clock starting, and then again tomorrow, the Knicks back at San Antonio for Game 2. The Knicks have the 1-0 lead in the NBA. So that also going on in the sports world. Besides for that, Mike, I do think that's it for everything on our end. Again, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to get back into it with everything. Hopefully we'll have some more answers from our man JPJ about our man JPJ. Certainly that will help Ty down off the cliff. Let me grab a couple more. 13 and 3 to go. Saw says every other one has a 2 in there. Also, Tyrone, you thought I had a crash out with the first pick. Just wait till after we don't pay him. Followed up by saying, I damn near am going to cry.
And he just bought the man's jersey, too.
And then also Sosh says, I think players don't like Riley Nowakowski. Just seen him alone in the roller coaster wagon. I'm going to need a bunker, Tortilla says, with his comment, Mike, coming in right after Ty. Again, just saying. Just pointing it out. Guys, I do want to also say this. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. Thank you. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do without you guys. Thank you so much. You truly do mean everything to us. The board, thank you. Oh my gosh, if it wasn't for you guys keeping this show interesting, again, I don't know what we'd do. Thank you so much. The board is MVP every day. Yes, we do give game balls out every day, but also, Mike, the terrible board is MVP status all the time, every day, top tier, gold, just what it is. But the terrible board, thank you so much for everything that you do. I want to say thank you also to everybody at home watching, listening. Maybe you're in the gym, maybe you're in the car, maybe you're at work, maybe you're in the bathroom stall at work, taking a little extra break, watching. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I want to say thank you too. Let me grab a couple more of these messages, and I think we are going to bounce, guys, right here. I'm damn near going to cry. I need a bunker. Tortilla is saying. Let's go here to bye, everyone. Sosh, my man. I hope you have a great day. Tyrone, and that was loyal. I had mine in his rookie year. Sosh, peace. It's my game ball today. Mine alone. I don't share. Stay away from my balls, he's saying, guys. Sosh, thank you so much. Again, guys, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. We hope to see everybody then. I do want to say for everybody here at the show, for Finch, for Derpy, for Chop, for RB, Mike, myself, the 2 Dum Yinzers, have a great Thursday. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.